Hey everyone, before we get started with the show today, I just want to give a quick thank you to all of our veterans, active military, and all of those that have fought or are fighting for our freedoms. Because of you and your sacrifice, we are able to live in the greatest country of all time, bar none. Everyone here, we want to give a big heartfelt thank you to you all. And it was also Canada Day this week, so we want to say happy birthday to our northern neighbors. Play some hockey, say you're sorry, and have some maple syrup drinking battles. This is Achievement Hunting 101.
America, 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 yeah, coming again to save the motherfucking day, yeah, America, yeah, freedom is the only way, yeah, terrorists, your game is through, 'cause now you have to answer to America, yeah, so let America, yeah, what you gonna do when we come for you now? It's the dream that we all share. It's the hope for tomorrow. Yeah.
Hello and welcome to Achievement Hunting 101. I'm your host, Fufu Cully Poof, and thank you for listening. We have a great show for you guys tonight, but before we enter into level 49, let me introduce to you who will be questing with me tonight. Joining me is Corey, L, and Michelle. What's up, everyone?
Hello.
Hello.
Hello, friends.
Is that the moment your coffee kicked in?
Oh my god, I am Cornholio.
And then he promptly falls asleep.
Don't even know what to say in response to that.
I
Let's
think
keep
he
moving
did
forward.
just expel like 35% of his energy right there.
Goodness gracious, all right. Well, he was awake. Michelle, how was your week of gaming?
Well, since Elle's already asleep, I don't have to worry about prattling on a little bit. My week in gaming was great, actually. I had a very unusual thing happen. I was off work yesterday and had no plans. So I got
That
to
explains.
experience what it's like to be able to just sit around and play games all day for, one not quite 24-hour period.
Lucky
and
you,
it
that
was-
sounds wonderful.
It was
Wow.
awesome. I got 13 out of my 25 random to-do list achievements done.
Wow.
Which
Yeah.
was great.
You were quite the stallion, huh?
Yeah, for one day.
I was
for
thinking
one
high
day.
road, but yeah.
No.
But in particular, I wanted to highlight a couple of things. First off, Burnout Paradise, as I'm sure anyone listening has heard or anyone who's been in our Discord is aware, the Burnout Paradise servers are closing on August 1st. And unfortunately, my one of the members of my favorite G-Task team, the names that we can't pronounce, Jay Black, lost some of his progress. So he needed some help along with some others, Doughboy, Shadowless Edge, and we had, and I'm not going to remember everybody that was in the session yesterday, but we had a quick, well, not quick, we put together quickly a session for...
Mattism.
Yes, Mattism was
was
definitely
drunk.
there. And there are these billboards in
Saucy
the game
was
that
hanging
say
out.
the essence of Matt, so that just became the big joke the whole night. It's this guy, like, laying on his side, like, looking all, mullety. But that was a ton of fun. Playing Burnout Paradise is always a good time, so we had a good time doing that. I apologize if, for whomever I forgot that
Did you
was in
say
the session.
Doughboy?
I did say Doughboy.
No, you said it wrong then.
Oh, Mike Pitch was there as well.
Yeah, kinda.
He was
didn't
there,
talk.
but he was quiet because he was connected to Xbox Live Party Chat on his phone. But it was awesome. And personally, I was enjoying helping everyone. But in between the challenges we were doing, one of my random to-do list achievements is to collect all the billboard smashes. So anytime I would finish something quick, I would start looking around for billboards to smash. They were 120. I got up to 107 yesterday. But I managed to get all the gate smashes, and there were 400 of those in the game. So that was exciting
Jeez.
because I didn't use a single guide for them. I just found them all through natural play.
Oh, nice.
So that was awesome. And the other achievement I really enjoyed going for this week was the Real Gamer achievement from Celeste. Now, Corey, you had spoken about Celeste before, correct? Or we had spoken
Yep.
about it.
It's a good game.
Yeah, and I'm still not 100% sure about assist mode generally. I turned the game on, And so my understanding was the achievement I needed was for playing an old school Game Boy version of Celeste that's built into the game. And in order to play it, you have to be on Chapter 3. You go through part of it, and then you eventually access it, and you can play it. And what's tricky about this particular achievement is, unlike the rest of the game, you can't use the assist mode. You have to get through it the way the game intends you to go through it. So I booted up the game. I started Chapter 1. I got to the end of Chapter 1 thinking I had picked assist mode, and I'm still not sure if I had or hadn't, Corey. Is this something I would know for sure?
Oh, yes. So basically, you turn assist mode on, but then you have to dig into the settings in order to modify it as you want. You can basically make yourself God, or you can just get a little bit of assistance. You can really adjust it, and it's pretty cool. The amount of, I guess, customization that they've added for easy mode, because they want their
How
game
many
to be
cheats
accessible.
do you want to turn on?
Yeah, I it's, for anyone who doesn't know, it's a platformer, and it's a platformer where if you play it in its natural state, you're going to die a lot. It's just, there are lots of traps to fall into and whatnot. I played through the first chapter and didn't think it was too bad, and it wasn't until I made it out of that chapter, and it's like, you're on to Chapter 2. Would you like to skip the chapter using assist mode? Because I knew I needed to get to 3. I was like, wait, what? Wasn't I using assist mode the whole time? So I skipped to Chapter 3 just in the interest of doing things quickly, and then went and got that achievement. It was fun. Like, the game is a good game, so I look forward to playing more of it once I bang out more of my list. So there's a couple quick things to mention for this week. Mostly playing around random to-do list, and it's been great so far.
Yeah, so for the longest time, you were at the top of the leaderboard, not only because of points, but also for unlocks in the RTDO. I just did a quick look. You like you said, you have 13. High Road has freaking 17 unlocks already.
Yeah.
Dang,
Yeah,
gone.
but he's got 17 unlocks, but is over 100 points behind me on points.
Yeah, I was just about to say you've gotten him by 150 points still.
Yeah, it's we'll go into RTDL more later. But High Road did this last month too. He came out of the gate real quick. And if not for him not having a copy of the game he needed, he would have finished his whole list in like 5 or 6 days. So I am not surprised to see High Road do this again.
That's just crazy.
Mm-hmm.
How about you, El? How was your week?
Well, I'm glad you asked. I missed everybody. It's been a couple weeks.
Really has.
Several.
You remember, I was in the hospital getting hip replacement number 2, so I'm the real bionic man. Special
Do
shout
you
out
feel
to
like
anyone.
$1 million?
No, that's the $1 Million Man. That's a different person.
Oh, okay.
Shout out to anybody who messaged me asking me how I'm doing and offer me well wishes. I appreciate that a lot. I finally got to finish the 4-hour show. And I've got to say, if I don't hear X and Elroy again,
You're gonna be sad.
it'll be... Oh, no. Wait, what? Yes, I'm going to
You
be
don't-
sad, of course. I
Blaster.
love them. Blaster!
Yeah, I mean, we could just give her, impressions of them for the next 3 hours if you really want.
I don't think most people have a good impression of
On
X the
your
Hero.
head.
No, but thanks to them for filling in. I enjoyed the show.
Oh, that show is great. I really enjoyed that. If you haven't listened to it, do yourself a favor and go listen to it.
Yeah. If you're intimidated
Thanks
by the
for-
4 hours, just listen to a half hour every day and you'll get it done.
Thanks to them for giving us the week off. I'll say that.
Yeah. And the trivia section was funny as well.
I'm pretty sure I speak for X and Elroy that if you guys ever want them on the panel again while it's summertime and they can stay up past their curfew of 7 p.m., they'll be happy to join you.
I am sure.
So I have a lot to talk about.
No doubt.
I conducted a little experiment, going back to something we talked about a couple of weeks ago, in which we asked when is a game really complete.
Uh-huh.
So there were a few games on my random to-do list this month so far that I decided to keep playing past the 1,000 gamer score.
What?
I know.
Past 1,000? Or
Past
past your
1,000.
achievement?
No, past it. Okay, well, what I tend to do is put all the easy 1Ks on, add to my game collection, and when they show up, I try to complete them.
Sure.
Just as
I do
a-
something
as
smart.
similar. Yeah.
As added incentive to play the easy 1Ks. So something like Daggerhood showed up. Not just going to get one achievement, I'm going to get them all.
Well, that's only an additional 10 minutes, but I get your point.
Well, it depends. Well, I needed the one to get 10 levels, 3 stars and 10 levels. So the music kicked in. I'm like, oh, this is some cool music. But then that same music just kept going and going and driving me insane. So my son was playing with me, and he was having fun with it too. He's a big platformer guy. So we're like, you know what? Let's just beat the first world and see if the music changes. So you only have to get to level 12 to get all the achievements, and there's 20 levels in the world. So we beat the first world, and you'll be surprised to know that level 20 has a boss in it.
What?
Wait,
I
what?
know. Yeah, there's a boss.
Huh.
You have to
Didn't know.
run away from him and escape the level.
Who knew?
And then started level 2, and it introduced mushrooms that you can jump and bounce off of as a new mechanic. And yes, there was new music. And then from there, then I turned it off. So, so I don't think I'll be going back to it, but I did want to play a little bit past it to see what the deal was.
All right.
That's
this-
actually an interesting.
That is one of the Ratalaikas that could have benefited from the achievements making you stay a little bit longer. It wasn't
no
that
doubt.
bad of a game.
Well, yes, you'll see where I'm going with this.
Okay.
Number 2, Bird Game Plus. So
Oh.
I didn't look at the list before playing this masterpiece.
That's one way to say it.
Oh my god.
I haven't played it yet, but I've just seen the pictures.
It seems like it's very peaceful. You're just flying around, and then for 5 minutes, and you have to avoid stuff, and you get some health power-ups here and there. And then there's a boss fight. So there's an achievement for getting to the first boss fight, and beating the first boss fight. And then you go to the second level, and the same thing, 5-minute level, and then you get to the boss achievement for getting to the second boss fight. But there's not an achievement for beating the second boss fight. But I went ahead and did it anyway.
Side
And-
note on that, I started Bird Game this past week, and I got the second boss, and I immediately quit the game.
Okay.
So continue.
Did you have trouble with the first boss? Because I had a lot of trouble with that first boss.
I didn't understand how to hurt him, but I eventually figured it out.
Okay, that's Corey speak for looked up a video.
No, I didn't. He accidentally hurt himself. And I'm like, oh,
yes.
okay.
He makes these things and then he runs into them himself. Yes.
Right.
So the second boss is a frog, and he drops bombs in the water, and you just pick them up, and then he eats them. So I said, okay. Then I quit out, and then I went to the options, and there's something in the game called challenges. Did you see that, Corey?
No, I didn't go
there's-
that far.
So there's internal achievements in the game called challenge, and there were things like beat level 3 on hard, which is interesting because there's only easy and normal to choose from.
Interesting.
So I said to myself, okay, there's only 3 levels in the game. Let me go through the third level and beat the game, right? Instead of just completing the game. And I did this last night while in the Burnout Paradise session, the party, and it took me forever to get to the third boss, like a good half hour. And then I finally got to the boss, and I just couldn't beat him. So I couldn't beat him on easy, so I have no idea how anyone would beat it on hard. With that said, if that was the achievement list, would have kept trying even harder and kept going for it. So I did try to beat Bird Game Plus, and I couldn't.
That makes me think that the developers had intended achievements, but Ratalaika said, we're going to change that. You need to make those easier. You will sell more
Absolutely
copies.
what they do. Absolutely what they do.
It dawns on me now that I think that conversation about beating versus completing games was 2 weeks ago, maybe, and then last
Yeah,
week I know we
right.
discussed it a little bit on panel notes this week. It dawns on me that there's sort of 3 categories for this. There's beating the game, which is you finish the story. There's completing the achievements, which has nothing to do with the story, and there's completing the game, which is the doing everything version. It just seems like they kind of neatly categorize that way. So you beat the game, you complete the achievements, but you didn't complete the game. You didn't do everything in there. But good on you for even attempting that. Because I think that with all sorts of games where I'm like, I'm having fun. I'm going to keep playing. I'll go back to this after the achievement list is done. And that never happened.
Never.
I made sure to do it while they were fresh in mind.
Mhm.
I remember with Midnight
I have
Deluxe.
done that occasionally, but it
Like
depends on the game.
Yeah, Midnight Deluxe, I think I did a couple more stages, and then I was done. Full blast, same type of thing.
Full
Yeah,
Blast,
Full
I
Blast,
think
I went
I did
until I
1 or
died.
2 extra stages because that game was just really good.
So I will say, as a whole, Daggerhood was okay, and Bird Game Plus, forget. I don't know, it's hard to say. I really didn't enjoy it, but then I kept playing it, so I don't know. There's something about it.
A game can be bad and still have an addictive quality.
Yeah. Okay, it's that. And then the boss music is now in my head because I spent over an hour on it.
That
So
is not one I would play past the achievements.
Bird game?
Yeah.
Well, once I saw there was only 3 levels, then I did it. If there was more than that, I probably wouldn't have. But it doesn't seem like that much, right? Beat 2 already. What's a third? It's a 5-minute level, right? Nope. It wasn't.
And that's where you got sucked in.
There's an achievement for playing a level on dark mode that I wasn't aware of, but I saw as soon as you go in that you could actually choose to start on a boss fight. So all you have to do is complete a boss fight, and then that counts as beating a level. So that achievement pops straight away. So, thanks, Redaliker, for those. And then I did it for one more game, which is not a Redaliker game, but an ACA game.
What?
Whoa.
What?
That's weird.
All right, now this I got to hear.
This you got to hear. It's called Burning Fight.
I don't know which one that one is.
Exactly. So I assumed it was a typical fighting
I need to
game.
look that up.
I assumed it was a typical fighting game, but it was actually a beat 'em up type game, similar to Final Fight, or the TMNT games. Might be games you've actually heard of.
Okay, thank you. That helps.
Kenny. Streets of Rage, Double Dragon, those type of games.
TMNT, got it.
They're called beat 'em ups.
Well, I know what a beat 'em up is.
Well, maybe you don't. So to get the 150,000 points in original mode, you can actually set it so you have 99 lives.
Oh, wow. That's helpful.
Yeah, it's really, really easy. You just have to spam attack, but you actually get more points for doing jumping attacks, which you need to do for the high score mode and the caravan mode. So at the beginning of around the 4th level, you get the achievement for 150,000. And the people in the solution were like, oh man, it took me forever to get killed and lose the other 70 lives so I can, you know how you get the achievement for getting a score?
Oh, yeah.
So I'm like, idiots, why don't you just go beat the game? It's one more level. So I went ahead and beat the game.
Yeah, that seems silly.
I mean, those people could have just started over with 3 lives and done it, but that's another story. But yeah, so I've always enjoyed games like that. Final Fight and Double Dragon, those type of games.
You just like the Ninja Turtle one.
And in some things, the more things change, the more they stay the same. There was a boss that looked just like Hulk Hogan.
Of course.
That was early 90s, and
Siggy?
that's what it was all about. Yeah, just like Siggy. So I did it with those 3 games. I don't know. We'll see what happens next. But I had fun doing it. Some games that might be worth it. So I have on my list also My Big Sister. Is that one where you have to beat the game?
I believe so. I just started that the other night, I think.
Okay. I don't think Rocker's done it. He's usually
No, yeah,
does
not
all
yet.
the... I'm surprised. Usually do the rats.
I went through and looked at the list. Let me double check real quick. I believe you do have to beat the game and you get them all.
I think it's about an hour, right? That sounds good.
Koosh did enjoy that one. I do remember that. But
And then we
done?
bring...
Did you
and then
say
we
he did or didn't enjoy it?
Koosh.
he did.
Okay,
Oh.
I was going to say, I've heard some good things about this
Right.
game.
And then, of course, we bring up the topic of guides. So I'm going to try to go through that without a guide and see what happens. Becoming a little too guide dependent these days. And I really think it's more just to hurry up and get to the next thing, like I have said before. That's really... I enjoy figuring this stuff out on my own. Speaking of which, I have Warlock's Tower on my list as well.
Oh, me too.
So Michelle's review of it definitely encouraged to try it out. So I'm definitely going to start trying it out on my own and see what happens.
I really strongly feel that, especially with puzzle games that have static solutions, especially in the first part of those games, you actually move through them faster solving them on your own than you do if you're going back and forth and consulting a guide.
Without a doubt.
So if you want to use a guide to get through things as quickly as possible, I totally get it. But you do yourself a favor time-wise to play it until you hit the wall, and one of 2 things will happen. You'll either hit that wall and find that you're actually enjoying the game, and you'll continue to keep trying because you're enjoying a game, heaven forbid. Or you'll get there and you'll go, you know what, this isn't for me, and then you use the guide and you wrap it up. Either result isn't bad, and you're still getting a chance to actually experience what the developer was intending for you to experience when you played the game.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Koosh
or
always says... go ahead, Kenny.
No, I was going to say, well, if for no other reason, you spent the $5 on it. And I know this is dumb me saying
No,
this,
it's not.
considering
It's
that
not.
a lot of people are achievement hunters and they just want the points
not.
and they want to get out. But you spent the $5. Why not actually try the game? And like you said in the
Right.
beginning, it's a puzzle game. You could just play the first few of them, and if you don't like it, you don't like it.
Right.
Devil's
And-
advocate. Some people are paying for the gamer score, not the game.
And I was going to go
Absolutely.
that same route. Like, I'm not saying this as a judgment against anyone who buys it specifically for the achievements.
Oh yeah,
But
definitely
just
not.
as a thing to keep in mind is you may actually play the first half of the levels faster without that guide if you have a sense of how the game works. Like Hexalogic was a good example of that too. Like or Neon Junctions, right? Neon Junctions is a game that for the most part is not tricky. It's going to take you more time going back and forth looking to the guide than it would be if you just sat there and solved the puzzles on your own for the most part. But if you want to buy, it's not a judgment against that. If you're buying it just to get the gamer score, you're still putting money in the developer's pockets. So that
Yeah.
has its value as well.
Apparently, Sangrias came up with some new glitch to where you don't even have to go through the game. You can
Which
even
one?
Faster for Neon Junctions. I know.
Oh,
You just perked up.
Well, actually, that's one of the games I was going to talk about. I played that this past week as well.
I was actually going to make that point. I was going to say that Kush always says that he likes to not consult the guide, but once you consult the guide that first time, it's like it's there. And then,
Oh yeah, once you start it, you can't stop.
but sometimes, like Michelle was saying, I was going to say sometimes you could look up a level and didn't realize a certain mechanic, and then now you know what to do for other levels. So
In conjunction with that, with Neon Junctions, I did the whole thing just blind until I got stuck. There was like two
Helen
levels
Keller
I think I
style.
got stuck. Yeah. And I had to consult a video guide for them. Both of them had the same mechanic, which I felt like it was a cheating mechanic. It had to do with basically blocking a doorway where it wouldn't close on you.
Yeah.
But that was it for that one.
That might be also just sort of either indicative of not playing a lot of those styles of game or that that's just not typically how you play games. Because when I came across those levels, I wound up not needing a guide for that game. And when I came across those levels, that did stump me at first. But because there are only so many places where you can put down the blocks, and one of them just happened to be in the doorway, I was like, oh, all right, I get this. I get what you're supposed to be able to do here. And in some ways, like by being so guide reliant, we're actually like not seeing these patterns because we're used to just being told what to do. So that kind of sounds like it might be something in that vein, that if there was no guide and you had to sit and think about it, you would have gotten there eventually. But I mean, how long did you really try before you consulted a guide? 10 minutes, 15 minutes, if that?
It is probably like 10. Yeah. Those
Right.
levels aren't very long.
Right, but if there was no guide up, or if you had gotten the game in advance for review to a point where there was no guide yet, you'd probably have given it another 5 and figured it out on your own.
Probably. Looks like I played that game for like an hour and 40 minutes. So.
Yeah, and that's also for someone like you, Michelle. Many puzzle games as you've done. That's definitely something. These are up your alley. So as soon as something happens, you're like, oh, I do that because I've done so many. Like
Right.
even though I'm in
Yeah,
like the
it's-
top, what was it, 30,000 or whatever?
20,000.
20,000.
Don't
that's
sell
it.
yourself short. Yeah.
Even though I'm in the top 20,000 in puzzle, which I still don't know how that happened. It's like I'll play a little bit just to kind of experience it, and then I'm not gonna lie, I'm not good at puzzle games. I get stuck rather quickly, and it's just like, the heck with it. Give me a puzzle, give me a gun, let me finish the stupid thing.
Yeah, absolutely. Like, I'm not great at first-person shooters. I'm just stubborn. So Elle can tell you how many times we're like a third into the game and I still have not switched from the default weapons. Because I either forget to do that or don't know how, or I'm just comfortable. Like, people who are good at those games recognize the situation for what it is and immediately go, no, I need to get a shotgun because this is close-range stuff, where I'm still trying to use a sniper rifle for guys that are 2 feet in front of my character. So, we all kind of have our skill sets and our strengths within these things. But I guess the gist of the conversation really is, if you're not going strictly for the gamer score, it doesn't hurt to try your games without a guide for a little bit, just to see how you handle the situations in there.
Especially when the game is only an hour tops.
Right.
Spend an extra 10 minutes, enjoy it a bit. Corey, you mentioned Neon Junctions you played. Anything else you did this week you want to talk about?
I'm going to just touch on a couple of things because I haven't been on the show for like 3 weeks. The past 3 weeks I've been gone, vacation and the takeover and just, family in town.
You
but
win.
yeah,
The Return of Rocker Dude.
yeah. So over vacation, I didn't have any Play Anywhere titles left on my RTDO list, so I did have to put that on pause. So I picked up The Messenger, which is a Game Pass PC
Did
game.
you shoot him?
Oh man.
And that is a really good game. If you like platformers, I highly suggest it. I played. There's a very crucial turning point in that game. I'm not going to say anything about it, but if you like twists, definitely get it. And yeah, I'm really enjoying it with it. I actually need to go back and wrap up that second act, if you will. But it hopefully actually. Let me double check because I think I checked yesterday, and it is now been classified as a Metroidvania.
Oh, so one reason why you play it.
So that was the reason why I played, because I was pretty sure that it was going to be classified that way, because Metroidvania forums and chats that I kind of follow have always said it's a really good game, and it's on Switch and PC. And as soon as it said Game Pass PC, I was so excited. So anyways, I played through that, and it's really good. Can't wait to go back to it. You should check it out.
Being in Game Pass, I may do that.
Game Pass PC, just to clarify.
Game Pass PC.
I'm sort of upset that Kush isn't here today because I'm sure he would be able to have a more engaging discussion with you about it.
Darn
since
you,
none of the
Nate.
three of us have played
me
it
and
yet.
Kush have been DMing. I think he enjoys it as well.
But
It's really...
Go ahead. I'm
he
sorry.
messaged you about the messenger.
Oh boy.
Yeah. He was my messenger for the game.
What I do know about the game is my brother has played it, and I think the last time he told me he's beaten it like 13 times. He loves this
gosh.
game. Well, he is one of those folks, like, he'll play for achievements a little bit, but if he loves a game, he will play it until he's got it memorized. Like Symphony of the Night, he knows the whole map by heart. He doesn't need to consult a guide. You can hand him the controller and he'll bang out the game in a short period of time. That's just the way that his head works. And The Messenger is, in recent memory, the game that he's really, like, just... That one and Guacamelee are the two where he knows them super well. He loves The Messenger. So I hope to get to it at some point so I can also talk to him about it. But it's good to hear that you're enjoying it, and I'm sure that Kush will include that in his, like, month-long game roundup next week when he's on.
How long is that game? Because that came out June 9th.
Which
He
one?
has it on Switch. So he's had some time with it.
Well, that definitely helps.
Yeah, it's been out for a while, and luckily it came to Game Pass with achievements, because as we know, there are some Game Pass PC games that do not have achievements attached to them. So I consider we got lucky with that one. But it's probably like, I don't know, anywhere from 8 to 12 hours. But like I said, it hits a crucial turning point in the game for the second act, and it flips you on your head, and it's crazy. But once I came back from vacation, it was back to RTDL, finish it up. I only had a week left. And so I knocked out a couple of just not really hard stuff, just time-consuming stuff, some in-game stuff. I had to play through the entire game of Candle, just about, and a lot of Demetrius, the Big Cynical Adventure.
Oh, hey, Corey.
Those were a lot of fun. Yep.
I have to play basically the whole game of Candle this month. What were your thoughts on having to do that?
I played with a guide the entire time. It is not one that I...
Corey, you know
I
what?
started out without a guide.
I played it with a guy too.
Yeah, I honestly don't, because I do, as we've already established, love puzzle games, but some of the elements in the game that you have to interact with are so woven into the background that I literally have no idea. I guess what we were talking about earlier, if I spent an extra 5 minutes, I'd eventually find that, like, bug in the background that you have to touch to get the plant to swallow, whatever it is. But, like, there's just so much where I just don't know how you would notice that playing it naturally.
There's
Right,
also-
and it's not a game that I would have originally included on my tag, but it was like one of the first review games we got. We were excited, and I just
Yes.
threw it on there, and I just didn't fall in love with it, so I was fine using a guide for it. I actually left. I have one achievement left that I didn't have to get, and I left it on there for July's RTDL, but it didn't get picked up. So
The walkthrough
I'll have to
on
go
TA
back and
is
clean that up.
excellent, though. Like, it's very thorough.
It's very good,
Lots
yeah.
of pictures. I think Punky Liar might have written it. So it's super well constructed. So if you do need to play Candle and you do like using guides, that's an excellent one to use.
I was going to say that game does have missables, so it would be annoying playing without a guide, and then you realize, oh, I was supposed to die there, and that's an achievement. So
Yeah.
there's
Right.
something to be said for that.
That's the achievement I need this month. Is like set myself on fire.
Yeah.
And it's in the end of the third act, so I'm just
right.
committed to finishing it at this point.
Yeah, that might have been the one. Actually, I think that was the one I needed to get
Oh, was it?
last month. Yeah, that sounds.
What a
that
the
sounds
coincidence.
clumpiness of randomness.
But anyways, that was one of the last ones I got, and I finished my June full combo.
Bug.
My technical
Congratulations.
natural full combo. Yep.
Nicely done.
Thank you. And just to finish off the month, I wanted to round off my FOOF because, as you know, we need an average of 83 points per month, and I was a little low. I was in like the 6,000, so I just decided to knock out a few easy ones. Just name them off here: Attack of the Toy Tanks, Ratalaika; Neon Junctions, Ratalaika; the illustrious SNK 40th Anniversary Collection. Thank you to Sangrias for his wonderful find. So if you're not familiar, it's a collection of super old and boring games, and there's a weird feature on this collection of games
Trigger.
that
This is what you get for saying things sucked the last time when Corey wasn't here to defend them, Al. So
Exactly,
just turn
exactly.
it
What
out.
did
as
I
fair
say
play.
sucked?
just because you
Just
played
the
your
Power
one
Rangers.
achievement legit and it took forever. Anyways, his find was that the collection of old games is weird in that it has a watch feature, so you can actually watch somebody who's played the game, and it's a complete run, so they finished the game, and basically you go to the boss fight and you pause it and you say, "I'm gonna start playing right here," and I don't know if it was a requirement. I didn't test it. Just the little guide said, go ahead and start playing and then save and quit. So I saved and quit. I go back into it. I continue it. From that one hit from the boss dying, hit it, and you complete that achievement. And that was pretty much the same for about 15 or 20 games. 14, I guess. There's 14 achievements. So 14 different games. I just went to the boss fight, got one hit left, resumed it from there, and then it was done.
Well, Al, you saw the ratio decay happen in real time with that one last month, right?
Yeah. 'Cause it was on my RTDL and it started at like a 2.4 and then I wound up as like a 1.2.
Oh, jeez.
The entire game is a
That counts.
1.17. Yeah.
What is it?
It's under 1200 TA for the entire game,
Yeah.
which
Wow.
is nuts because that would have been a very hard completion. So that was a really good find by Sangrias, and knocked that one out. And then I did one more completion for the month, and that was a Sometimes You game, Grass Cutters, Mutilated Lawns. It's a game coming out soon. We'll go, and Fufu, we'll go into that in a bit. But that's been my week. I think I rounded the month off with like 10 to 11,000 gamer score.
Nice.
So
Nice.
I am well. I think my year to date for my FOOF is at 70,000.
Oh, wow.
So, and I haven't, I only have done like 900, maybe 1,000 gamer score worth of ACA because of the BCM. And so
Right.
I have, you can imagine the backlog of ACA games that I see in my ready to install. It's crazy. It's going to be nuts whenever that bomb drops. But new lists are out, and I'm having a good time. You did mention how last night you boosted with Jables. Funny enough, Fufu and I boosted with Jables last night as well. Just to shout him out, he helped us with the Crashers Remastered achievement for winning 40 arena matches. And I don't know if
Super
it was like
easy.
this on the 360, but you can cheese those wins and get them in like 10 minutes for like 40 wins.
All three
Oh,
of us
I
got
don't-
them very quick.
If that existed, I wasn't aware of it at the time that I did it. That achievement was so terrible. And it really wasn't that terrible because you're still looking at like an hour or two, but it just felt like you were in it forever.
Oh, no.
But
Yeah,
it may have existed. I just wasn't aware of it.
Basically, the meat of the cheese is you have 3 people and you join an arena match. 2 people on the one team, and there's an opponent on the second team. Kill him naturally, and then at the next selection screen, as you're readying up, that opponent leaves, so the 2 people on the same team are left, and they go into matches, and they auto-win. And you just keep doing that to a cycle until you hit 40, and it was really good.
What
He
we
wasn't
thought
quite
was
done
gonna
with the
be an hour
game.
and a half wound up being like 10, 15 minutes, which was fantastic.
Right.
That's awesome.
he ended up he wanted some help finishing up the game, which we helped him complete the game. But we actually got some legitimately hard achievements done. Well, one's not too hard if you have a level character, but the other one is, what's it called, Fufu? The backup
barbarian.
You're right. And
That's
we got
crazy.
We got that 3-man in probably like 15 to 20 minutes, but it was not easy necessarily.
It's like a thing where you have to stay alive for 2.5 minutes. And it took us like 15
remember it very
minutes.
well.
Yeah.
I remember it very well. Elle and myself and our friend Phil. Was there someone else with us for that too? Elle, do you remember?
I'll look it up, I guess.
Okay. But the three of us were working on it, and it took us a
remastered
long
one?
time.
Yes.
Yeah, because that wasn't in the 361.
Oh,
Right.
you're talking about... Oh.
Yeah.
Where you have, like the
I
little
still-
cardboard
and-
pieces and you're bouncing around.
I still have a video of you doing that.
Yeah, I don't remember.
Awesome.
It took us a long time
to share.
to get it settled. Was Steve with us, maybe? I forget.
I
but
don't think Phil was with us, but...
No? I thought he was. Okay. Anyway, I guess we can figure that out, or if
mean
you
Stan?
can figure that out while I'm looking, or while I'm talking.
Nope, you're right. Oh,
Okay.
your brother was the fourth.
Oh, okay. So that makes sense. So, it was late for whatever reason. I don't know if it just took us that long when we were trying it, or what the deal was, but it was like 2 or 2:30 in the morning. Does the time on timestamp corroborate?
It was 00:02.
Oh, okay. So we
It
were
was
old.
midnight.
It was midnight.
Yes.
But I just remember I was exhausted. I was falling asleep like as we were playing it. And it was one of those, like, we kept getting to 2 minutes and 20 seconds, 2 minutes and 25 seconds. Because as Kenny said, you have to survive for 2 minutes and 30 seconds. And by the end of it, at the beginning, let me start again. It's one of those achievements that's boring to go for at first, because the first 90 seconds is simple.
Yeah.
And it really starts to pick up in that last 60 seconds. So you're kind of just replaying, and you start to make stupid mistakes the later you get and the more attempts you're making, because, you just want to get to where you need to get to. And I was really, really exhausted. And I was like, guys, this has to be the last time, because I'm falling asleep. And it was like one of those moments where like time slows down and maybe there's like music in the background. And I just figured it out. Like, managed to barely survive 231.02. And I was like, all right, I'm done. I got to go to bed. And that was so... it was fun, but oh man, 15-30 minutes sounds great. I'm pretty sure we worked on that for a couple hours, and that wasn't our first session attempting it either.
Oh,
Yeah, I was quite surprised, but I'm quite thrilled with the TA that we got from it, especially with the G-Task starting. So yeah, it was fun.
Oh, we will get into that.
I found the video.
You can link it in the show notes, though.
Oh my god. Late breaking news. High Road has gotten his 18th unlock.
Jeez.
that's insane.
I posted the video for you guys to watch while we record.
I'm not going to watch that while we record. That's irresponsible.
He's a pro.
Wow, look at this video.
Check it
Kenny,
out.
did you get to tell us what you did this week in gaming?
I have not.
Why don't you tell us about it?
Well, I have two games I want to talk about. One of which Corey alluded to, Grass Cutter, and this will kind of be a mini review of both the games. And I wound up streaming them over the weekend. The first game, or like I said, the first game I want to talk about is Grass Cutter: Mutated Lawns. Now, this game is very similar to the old Bulldozer games, if you guys remember them. Like
Bulldozer.
I think they were on like the Nokia
They work like
phones
that.
and Windows 95 and all that. And they're similar to that in, that there's obstacles that you have to navigate around or boxes you have to push into specific locations in order to continue. But the main goal of this game, if you can imagine, is to cut the grass. So the game has like a Minecrafty look to it, and it's very basic, and everything is basically on a grid. And
I wouldn't call it Minecrafty, just to throw that out there.
no, it's not super blocky like Minecraft. It just kind of has that like basic kind of a look to it.
I mean, yes, you're cutting a rectangle-based yard with obstacles, and it's tile-based.
Yeah, tile based. That's a better way to put it. And it's also kind of like from like the top down perspective kind of a thing, so you can see most of the area. It's kind of simple. You just have to steer your mower around the yard and cut the grass. The uncut grass is like dark green, and when you cut it, it turns light green, so you know what you have and you have not cut. Which sounds simple, right? Wrong. To mix up the gameplay and make it annoying, they add enemies, and this is also why I kind of liken it to Minecraft. The enemies are basically the creepers from Minecraft. They look very similar to them. And the creepers kind of, move back and forth in a set area. So, like, they have a patrol. And if you hit them, you blow up. There's some difficult obstacle. There are different obstacles in the lawn that you need to avoid, like rocks, mud, water, that will kill you or deplete your battery faster. Kind of a simple.
I don't know if you mentioned that. You're an electric lawnmower.
Yeah. I didn't mention that. You're an electric lawnmower, so you have battery because, people want to cut their grass with an electric mower instead of gas for some reason. But, I mean, the game's kind of is very simple in it. There's not a lot to it. It starts out super simple, where you're just cutting the grass, just don't hit these specific tiles, and then it gets to the point where you now have, like I said before, you have to move like a box to get over a river or a puddle or whatever. And then you get to cut that area of the grass. So it almost turns into, it has like some puzzly elements to it. The achievements are, during my stream, I actually thought that this was going to be a kind of a difficult completion. It's something that might be good for G-Task. I totally misread these achievements wrong. This is actually a simple 1K. You got the completion, Corey. How long did it take you?
The completion, this might be a little skewed because I played it and I took a break, but it probably, so I'm going to have to guess, it probably didn't take longer than an hour and a half.
That's honestly about what I figured. Honestly, a lot of the stuff that is a lot of the achievements you'll get through normal gameplay. There's nothing really that you need to go for. There's not actually.
So if you'd like, I can break down the achievements the way I earned them.
Yeah, go for it.
So,
wait, real quick, actually. So I actually didn't get to unlock any achievements on this because, this is a sometimes you game. And sometimes you games sometimes pop achievements. So game sharing partners beware.
Oh, that's a half star off.
Yeah.
Well, it should be known by, this publisher. But anyways, there are a total of 20 achievements, and I unlocked, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I unlocked 9 achievements. You could easily roll that into 10, and obviously some of those would be, if it just so happenstance. By the time I hit about the 15th or 16th level. Now, as soon as you hit that level, you unlock this master mode, this master stage. That will allow you to get this extra achievement where you have to you have to get stuck in a sand pit so many times, and you have not yet encountered one of those up to this point. After that, you don't have to play any additional levels. You can go back and grind out the extra stuff. So the stuff that I had to grind, so they have a lot of stuff, use a bomb for the first time, eliminate 2 monsters at once, things like that. But the grindy stuff happens to be like, which is kind of a negative effect. So I had to grind out like killing myself a lot in order to get these. So kind of weird in that way. But like take a mud bath 20 times, disable 50 monsters, which is different than destroy. Because there is one for that, and it's called kamikaze. So you just run into them, and you die, and they die. You have to do both of those 50 times. Again, with killing yourself with water this time 20 times. There's barriers. You can break them down. They deplete your battery faster. You have to do 100 of those. There's a level with a cat. You have to scare it 15 times. Dog 20 times. And then the last one was I had to basically do a continue 25 times. So I had to make sure I died completely and hit continue that many times. There really isn't any. There are people who have made video guides for this game, but I really don't see how that would help you. I don't know if you feel the same way, because it's at the fast-paced couple-minute game where you have to just go over all the available tiles, and there's really not strategy to it. I think there's only one way to do them all, to be honest. Yeah, of course, you could go whatever way you wanted to, but if you had to push a block, there's only one way to push the block. So the video guides I didn't even have to look at.
Yeah, you said level 15 is when you unlock the master?
It was around 14, 15, or 16.
Yes.
And there was plenty more levels after that, but I did not explore them.
Yeah, no. Once you get up to that point, you'll probably unlock half these achievements, just normal play, and then you could just open the guide real quick and just say, oh, I need that. I need this. I need that. And just
Yes,
go through and get it real quick.
It's funny that this game comes out July 10th. So it's currently July 2nd that we're recording. So it comes out in 8 days. So people got this game quite early. There's actually almost 60 people who have it already tracked. There are 4 or 3 guides for each achievement, based off these people that are trying to make videos and whatnot. And so that's kind of funny. Bills does his thing, and he basically lists off all the timestamps of the achievements and bolds the one that you've clicked on. And there's a new person in the mix who's doing it. But I've only clicked on a couple of these just to see the optimal level to get them on. But other than that, you will not need a guide for any of this stuff beyond that.
Yeah, it's got the usual 1,000 gamer score, and as of right now, it's got 1,149 TA. This is not a difficult completion. And actually, completion percentage right now is 66%.
Yep, it's a 1.14 ratio. It's only going to go down, and yeah, there's one achievement that I always kind of I hesitated on because it was just I wasn't expecting it. It's called Make Your First Purchase. In the game, you can buy different lawnmowers that have different abilities. I did not need to use any of their special abilities. If you have trouble, you might pick and choose which one you want, but they did not make a difference for the rest of the game for me. So if you have trouble staying alive, I think there was one that offered invincibility, and then there was one that made you quicker and whatnot. But you only have to buy one vehicle. You don't have to worry about the currency anymore after that. And I unlocked it naturally just by going through.
Yeah, so overall, I give the game a 2 cutting blades out of 5.
Wait, 2 what?
2 cutting blades out of 5. Because
Cutting blades,
I don't know.
okay.
I was
Like
trying
a
to think of
cotton
something.
blades.
Trying to think mower, so it's mower's got multiple blades to it, so 2 out of 5.
I think you're lowballing it a little bit. Granted, it was a quick completion. I think it was actually a fun game.
Honestly, achievements aside, I don't think it's a terrible game. I don't. I and I'm sure everyone here has absolutely played worse. But the big problem for me is the controls. They weren't very tight, and like there are multiple times when I was playing it and I would hit like left and it wouldn't go left, or I would click up and it would jump me up like 2 spaces.
Did you use the analog stick?
No, I was using the D-pad.
So I switched to the D-pad, and I felt the controls were a lot better. I didn't have any issues after that.
Okay. But yeah, I had some control issues, and also being sometimes you and it didn't pop for me, I'm also a little salty on that.
I get you.
I will say though, it's $6.99. I think that's a fair price for this. I don't think it's a bad game.
Again, I don't think that. I mean, it's a fair price for the game, but if you wanted to sell, it's going to sell a lot of copies because it's such an easy game. But I think that it could easily be sold at $5, and it's that insta buy price point that people are going to think less about than $7. It's $2, but that's just how people think sometimes. But I would probably rate it a 3 out of 5. I thought the game was fine. It was probably one of the better, if not the best, Sometimes You published game out there that I've played. It's definitely above Spiral Splatter.
Oh, without a
and
doubt.
North and Energy Cycle.
Yeah, if it were to go on sale, I would definitely recommend picking up. But if it's something
And
you
Crash
want,
Bots.
if you want just a quick completion, I don't think you'd hate yourself for spending $7 for it.
You could do a lot worse for sure.
Oh yes. Second game I want to mention is Ovivio, something like that. Now, unlike Grass Cutter, this game I actually really enjoyed, which was great because I didn't think I was going to. I know I've said this during the stream. I don't know if I've said it here on the show, but when I go into stream a game, I try to go into it fresh. I want to know as little as possible about the game. So I only ever look at like the right-hand side of TA and then maybe a few screenshots. So I have at least an idea of what's in store for me, but not actually know what's coming. Looking at the screenshots, I was not excited in the slightest. I thought for sure it was going to be like a short stream, and I was going to give up on it. But nope, I actually had a good time with it. So just to kind of explain it, it's a super simple platformer with a neat mechanic. So the entire game has two colors, black and white. That's it. You control this little ball, and you have to get to the end goal. That's it. And besides a joystick, you only use the A button. Super simple. And here's where the neat mechanic comes into play. The A button takes you from the white area and moves you to the black area, or vice versa. And the idea is to navigate the map going back and forth between the white and black areas to get to the end. And while playing, I actually had a 6180 The Moon vibe to it. So if you like that game, I would suggest trying this. A lot of the time, you have to use the momentum when switching from the black and the white to get to the next platform. And this is where the game really shines, because the controls are great. The movement is fluid. When you push the A button, it switches gravity. It switches, and gravity works really well. Controlling the ball is just easy, and you never really feel like you're fighting a game. When you're having problems getting to the next spot, it's just because you suck. Not because the controls are bad or it's, a fault of the game. The game is just nice and relaxing and isn't difficult, but there are a few spots that take some practice to get past. Now for the achievements, the list sucks. Out of 31 achievements, 27 have the exact same description, and that's the story symbol is collected. The other 4 achievements are called one dot for collecting one dot, all the dots, and all the symbols to complete the game. And the symbols and the dots are basically just the collectibles in each one. For this one, I would give it like a 3 out of 5 dots. I really enjoyed this game. It's, like I said, it's a nice, relaxing game. And if you like platformers, I would check this out. And once again, it's a $6.99 game. So for the price point, it's something I would definitely recommend, especially if it goes on sale. So along with those games, like I just said, that good prices, and I would recommend them if they go on sale. We also have some sales this week.
Sale Gway!
God.
No, that's not what this is.
Oh.
That actually was
Bad
a pretty
L.
good one, though.
Bad L. Corey.
Yes, it was.
It was.
We should make it the word of the week.
It's not Selgway.
Oh.
That is going to be it 1 week, and Chip's going to type it in and win the prize. But Corey, you picking up
That's my
anything?
name. I'm actually not picking up anything. There was nothing that caught my eye except for my anti-recommendation. Do you want to hear that?
Oh.
Oh, absolutely.
Anti-recommendation.
So if you recall long ago, we talked about a game called Deadliners.
Oh, God. That game.
This game is half
Sweet.
off, so it's a pretty good price at $4.
That's still too much.
But this is... The game baffles me. It's extremely hard. It's not meant for a controller at all. But there's
This
only
is the
11
one
tracked gamers.
that was like
How many?
Snake,
11?
right?
It's kind of like a really advanced Snake
Okay.
game. Yeah, they had challenges and they had an endless mode, and like skill challenges and whatnot. Survival mode, I think is what it's called, not endless. But
Yes.
there are 11 achievements in the game, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of them have not been unlocked by anybody, and the other ones, there's only one achievement that has all 11 tracked gamers on it, and then the other 4 have 1 or 2. I don't think that it's classified as unobtainable. I just think that it's an extremely hard game, and I don't know a game that has less tracked gamers than it, especially one that's been out almost a year. We're getting close to the year mark.
Wow. Has it been that long already?
For
Yeah,
real,
September, end of September, it came out.
jeez.
And so they have, even if at full price at $8, they've made a whopping $80 off of Xbox sales. And even
that we
that,
know.
yeah, that's true. That we know. Two of the people on the 11 list are from our community, and one is the True Achievement accounts when they streamed it.
Wow.
It's
So
it's like the creator of Snake said, "Screw you guys! I don't want you to ever have fun with my game, and it needs to be way more difficult than it ought to be."
right. So I just want to anti-recommend that. Again, it's $4. There's no flags on it to say, missable or discontinued or unobtainables. So there's nothing to warn you there. If you quickly looked at the TA for it, it's a 1.6. That's not too hard. There's no time estimate on it. But if you look a little closer, 11 tracked gamers, no completions, and like half of the list nobody's ever achieved. So
Right.
you've been warned.
1600 TA against however many Gamerscore has actually been unlocked in the game at this point.
And it's
Right.
like
So,
it's also impossible
crazy.
because the one is to reach a 75-point score. So imagine Snake, but you have to collect the dot 75 times, and that's in survival for 4 players. So now imagine 4 Snakes all have to collect 75.
There's other stuff that happens on the screen as well than just that.
Yeah, and there's other things that can kill you. It's just
And and those we assume they don't stack, but there's too much mystery in there for anybody that I know that would be smart enough to buy it. But I just want to warn you, Deadliners is on sale, and don't recommend it. But I'm sure you people have some lovely recommendations this week. Michelle, what about you?
well, I was sort of in the same boat. Like we are very, very fortunate that we get really solid sales all week, or every week, pardon me, and that we are to a point where it's like, oh, this is on sale again, that's on sale again, and whatever else. But this list this week seemed very small to me, which was kind of the first problem is there's not a lot to choose from. The other thing is that they're really, just like what you said, Corey, there's nothing that appealing. Woodletree Adventures is on sale, but that might also fall into an anti-recommendation given that Dino Bull seems very unhappy with it in the Discord right now. Woodletree is not a super bad, terrible game because the achievements are fairly easy. Now, unlike a Ratalaika game, it does expect you to actually go through the game, and there is a grindy achievement at the end where you have to collect 300 or 3,000 gems or hearts, whatever the collectible is in there. I've already forgotten. Because the game isn't very memorable, but if you want a game that's going to be a relatively quick completion, and you haven't bought it in one of the previous sales it's been on, that's there. The only other thing I noticed that I just want to point out, but again, wouldn't necessarily recommend buying, but pointing this out with an eye toward this year's iteration of G-Task and the fact that there's high ratios here. There's the Merge Mega Bundle. It's a grouping of 6 games. Normally it's $52.99. It's on sale for $15.89, so it is a good discount. This includes Unbox Newbie's Adventure, Tango Fiesta, Hopico, Sublevel Zero Redux, Cast of the Seven Godsends, and everybody's favorite game that Waka got us to play for the wrong reasons, Albedo.
Wait, you mean future Game Club nominee Albedo?
Well, I mean, it's a current nominee.
I think
It's
you're
a
thinking
matter
of
whether or not
North.
it's a future game focus. So that said, it is a good discount, but you should be aware that Albedo is the only quote unquote easy completion, because it's easier than the others. Only 3 of the games in this list are completable, and that would be Albedo, Hopico, which is a 6 to 8 hour completion, and Sublevel Zero Redux, which is a 25 to 30 hour completion. But they all have achievements within them that have high ratio, so there's a lot of TA score differential to be had. But Cast of the Seven Godsends has 8 unobtainables. Like, it's not just that these games, the other 3 games, are not completable because they're difficult. They all have unobtainables, so they're not completable. So there's just sort of a mess here. But if you're looking for cheap games that may be helpful for that, because I don't even know if they're easy enough to be helpful in the way that a Westerado is, it's something to consider. But I don't know that Koosh has many tabs open this week. What about you, El? Is there anything you're not buying us this week?
Ooh. I mean, Kush was on vacation, so he probably has more bills than... He's probably trying to sell some digital games at this
Then
point.
Buffalo. Sports ball.
Oh, boy.
Sports. O.J. Simpson. Woo!
Bonnie
there's a game called
Belito.
Shiny. Ooh, there's a game called Shiny. Ooh, there's a game called Shiny. Oh, unobtainable. Nope, there's really nothing this week.
Well, this keeps the segment short.
Yeah.
Guys, Where the Bees Make Honey is on sale this week.
I think
No,
that's
it's
a
not.
holdover from last week.
It's
I
not.
recommended it last week.
Oh, never mind.
Add one to my anti-rec list.
Exactly. It looks like Nickelodeon Kart Races is 50% off. So does that mean the other ones are going to be 50% off? Or were they 40% off?
Oh, those that the publisher, maybe.
Yeah.
Even at 50% off, it's still $20, and it's
No bueno.
I don't know. It's probably no Crash Team Racing, so
It seems like the Nickelodeon Kart Racer is one of the most underwhelming kart racers to be released in recent memory. It's not hard to
Which
mess
is
with
a
Kart
shame.
Racer because everyone understands how they're supposed to work and doesn't necessarily expect a whole lot of customization or variation. It just has to play fun. And my understanding, well, you guys played it, right? Like the Nickelodeon Kart Racer is like boring and kind of misses those notes.
Corey played
Yeah,
it,
you-
and after his review, it discouraged me from playing it.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, it is a kids game, but they could have did better, you know.
Well, they picked a really odd character selection too.
Yeah, and
Part of-
maybe I'm out of touch with my inner kid.
All
and
right.
they could have picked something better, but I mean,
I
you
disagree.
can't put Hey Arnold in there and not get other vintage characters from Nickelodeon.
Well, then
I
they
mean,
had
it's
the
vintage
Rugrats.
1990s. There was a Rugrat. Well, I think there may have been a
Arnold's-
Rugrat or two.
Arnold's head looks like a sports ball.
It does.
It does. You're right.
Hey there, football head.
But you know what's also depressing? It's not just the sales are bad this week. Game Pass even has more games leaving. So
A Game Pass Gway. Very nice.
and I
Okay.
try. I try. Although
Everything's a
Game Pass-
glay to him.
And Sale Gway and Game Pass Gway together make a Paraguay.
Oh my!
God.
Oh. This is where we need that Price is Right losers horn noise. So Game Pass has
What?
more games leaving. We spoke last week about After Charge leaving, and there is boosting going on. Hopefully this podcast will release on Thursday, and that very evening there will be some After Charge boosting going on, because Kenny is abandoning the struggle in Borderlands to do this instead, and we're all very happy about that, but we're going to tell Prue we're upset. But there are two more games leaving Game Pass that have been announced since we recorded last. The first is Warhammer Vermintide, and the second is the Lego Movie game.
That's sad.
So keep those in mind if you've started them. I'm not so familiar with Warhammer, but I do know the Lego Movie game frequently winds up on sale for $5 or so. So if you started it and didn't get a chance to finish it, you could probably pick it up fairly cheaply. But these are both leaving the service soon. Now, Game Pass did tweet today, so we're recording on Tuesday. They did tweet that there is a new game announcement coming tomorrow. So that will not make the cutoff for this show. So hopefully they're trying to sweeten the pot a little bit
Darn
after
you,
these
Game
games
Pass
I
Twitter.
don't know.
getting removed.
I think our editor's slow enough to edit that we might get it in there. I don't know.
We might be able to record
Yeah.
just a quick
What?
clip of...
Oh,
No.
no. Oh, wait a minute.
What we just need is a quick clip of Koosh saying what the new Game Pass is and just edit that in right
Totally.
here.
404 error. File not found.
Okay, so...
And I totally added that in right there. That's either going to be great or very awkward.
Yep, yeah, we'll see how it works out in post. But that's the story with Game Pass. However, Games with Gold finally came through.
This is a good month.
So why don't you tell us about it?
All right, so up first for the Xbox One is Inside, which is available July 1st to the 31st. And on the 360 side is some old fuddy-duddy game called Castlevania Symphony of the Night. I don't know, never heard of it.
Fuddy duddy. That's great.
That's also available July 1st to the 15th. So there are two big games right off the bat. Mm-hmm. I played Inside a while ago. I absolutely loved it. It was amazing. The story that they are able to tell with that and how they were able to draw you in with that with absolutely no dialogue and absolutely no text.
Yeah, I mean, in case anyone didn't know, Inside is the second effort from Playdead Studios, which is the team behind Limbo. I just started it for random to-do lists, so I was super excited when it hit
it's
Games
so
Gold,
good.
because I've had access to it via my brother, but now I don't need to worry about logging in accounts to have access or whatever else. So, this is an awesome ad. I'm excited to get to it. I've only played the very first little bit, but it's very much like Limbo. And so I'm not surprised it made it to Games with Gold because both versions of Limbo eventually did, but I'm glad it's finally here.
I will say going or kind of touch on something we talked about earlier with guides. There's chapter select in this, and there are like some collectibles. I don't exactly remember what the collectibles are at this point, but I know they're there. Do yourself a favor, play this without a guide. The puzzles, if you just give a little bit, if you just try a little bit, you
Yeah,
can get 'em.
Tropan.
You will just. It's a good game. Just do yourself a favor. If you miss any of them, you can go back simple enough to get them.
That's good to know.
And then Castlevania, I don't know.
This is for the Metroidvania folks.
Yes.
This is really the one that solidified that as a genre. Super Metroid started that the actual kind of layouts and such, but the way we know it now, this is it. So it's only a 200 gamer score game. I know that turns some Elroys off, but it is well worth playing.
Considering that this is like the this is the Metroidvania game.
That's the Vania part.
Right.
I will probably actually try this, and this will be the first Castlevania game I've ever played. So
Okay.
and this is the best one, correct?
Well, best is subjective.
Well, okay.
This is the granddaddy.
This is
of
the
them all.
highest
Yes.
rated one, I should say, or maybe like the one that everyone favors the most.
Let's be honest about some stuff, right? Because Elle and I are Camp Fuddy Duddy, and you and Corey are Camp Young guys. So our views are going to be a little different. In 1997, was that when this game? No, it was earlier. I don't know. In 1990, whatever, when this game came out, 7, I think. It was amazing. The look, the music, just the whole ambiance of it was great. I am sure, because especially I know, Corey, you've been banging out those Metroidvania games. There are quality of life improvements that have happened over 20-some years that will make Symphony of the Night feel clunky or outmoded. And I know we have had whole discussions about whether or not you should view a game through the lens of its time or through your enjoyment of it currently. I will not be surprised if you play it and find that you don't understand why people love it so much, but do try to remember that any game you're playing currently has had 20 years to build off of what this game started, and keep it in that context. And I'm very curious to hear what you think once you get through it.
And it came out in 97.
Okay.
On these things called CD-ROMs. It was awesome.
I know that.
Yeah, when
I have
you're
a
in
bunch of
between-
them right over there.
When you're in between, so in these CD games, right, they had all sorts of ways to hide loading time. And they still do, right? We all saw the E3 video where Microsoft was talking about Project Scarlet, and they're like, we want no loading times. But games used to do kind of clever things to hide loading. And in between all of the areas in Castlevania Symphony of the Night, there was always like a room that buffered in between. And in the middle, there's something that says CD. And all through that time, I thought it was because the game's on CD and it was like a clever Easter egg. But then it dawned on me, like the last time I played it, that it's probably for Count Dracula. If you see it, you can let me know. But I just thought it was like a little nod to it being a CD-ROM game, but probably overthought that one.
Well, the other Xbox One game that we're getting a little bit later on in the month is Big Crown Showdown. That will be available July 16th through August 15th.
Yeah.
What?
This was
Corey, do you have
an
some
easy game,
totally
correct?
That was the game I
legal
fell asleep on.
Cronus
That's why.
scripts.
That's how I remember this.
The four of us
So-
were going to play, and then Elle just fell asleep.
Yeah, so Elle is not excited for this game, probably rightfully so. It's a okay party game, but I don't think it's anything going to keep your attention for a long time. I'm excited for it for another reason, because I've already completed it, and I'm hoping
Well, I
that
know
TA
why.
just shoots right on up, because
Ha.
it while not hard, it's too grindy to where
There's a pill for that.
I don't think that people are going to complete it. So I want people to inflate my ratio here.
See, this game is going to be the perfect example of the games with gold ratio bump, because you're going to get a whole bunch of casual people who signed up for TA for whatever reason, who are going to plug it in. And the game's biggest problem is its lack of variety. It's, like you said, it's not a bad party game, but it's, even though there are 16, I think, different types of levels, they all play exactly the same way. So that's the problem. The game gets boring. And there's only so much you can accomplish on one run. but I could see a whole bunch of people downloading it, playing it for 15, 20 minutes with their families, and then abandoning it. And it's not hard to get the game on your tag, if I recall correctly. So
Is this
that
right?
one...
Is this game kind of kiddish, I should say, something to where it's more family friendly? And
It's definitely family friendly for sure.
yep, that will be great to inflate the ratios. That might be wind up being a really good GTAS game.
Yeah,
It's
people
sort of-
say 5 to 6 hours, but I don't remember that being the case.
You're saying longer or shorter?
I think it'd be longer
Okay, yeah, I think it would be longer too. Because you can only get so many coins, right, per run?
Yeah,
Is that
so yeah, there are 19 achievements. When the four of us played that very first night, we got 14. Well, I think Elle missed a couple, but the other three got 14
Yeah. Hey.
out of 19 achievements. The achievement we didn't get was to complete a local multiplayer match. So that one is, some people only have one controller. Most of us don't. There's another one that's play 4 players locally. And so that one, obviously, you're going to have 4 controllers. Not everybody has 4 controllers.
Nope. I got 3.
So that knocks out, 2 of the 5 that are left. The last 3 are just to give you a quick gameplay preview, you're 1 to 4 little people, and you run on this auto-scrolled map, and you knock each other off, and you collect coins, and you get points at the end if you make it and whatnot. That's it. And then the points tally up at the end. The 3 grindy achievements are for knocking off 1,000 objects off the track, and you can only... It takes a few hits to knock an object off, so that's going to take some time. There is a shop, an in-game shop, where you have to use those coins, and at most you can get 12 coins per run. Things are costing anywhere from maybe 6, maybe 12 coins to some cost 80 coins, and I think there's 20 different things you have to buy, so you have to get a lot of coins in order to purchase all these hats, and these are just cosmetic hats. That was actually my last achievement in the game. And then the last one is for running a marathon. So somehow it tracks you on this auto scroll level running around, and you have to do 26.2 miles. I can't remember that's a marathon. I mean, it makes sense. And the achievement's called Marathon, so it's just a play on words there. But I want to say when I mapped it out, that was, I think it was a half percentage for that per run. And so, you're looking at 200 runs of that in order to get that. And that's if you're pretty efficient and you make it all the way to the end and you're running in circles. So you're trying to maximize your distance. I don't know. I ended up recording a little Chrono script that would run me around in circles. The problem is there are too many variables to where it would never be the same. And so I would fall off and lose some time there, but I'd have to do it myself. So lucky me.
Hey, Corey.
Yes.
Do you remember what other awesome game involves collecting hats?
A Hat in Time.
Oh, come on. It's a game we like. It's really boss.
101.
Boss 101.
Play?
Yeah. Hats.
Well, that was a non sequitur.
Not a sale grader.
Anyways, know that that's what you're getting into. It's not a hard game, and you'll likely have some fun if you have some friends. Local and online co-op, so that's a plus.
Do any of those friends have any milestones to talk about?
We're not there yet.
Damn it.
And the final Games of Gold that is coming is Meet the Robinsons,
Oh, God.
which is July 16th to the 31st.
That's one of those classic 360 games that was super easy that you played, and it was only 8 to 10 hours, and or 8 to 12 hours, and that was considered fast.
That game is definitely longer than that.
Oh my gosh. So the thing with Meet the Robinsons, for anyone who's looking to play this gem, is it's not super terrible actually for a movie tie-in game. It functions just fine and could be fun. But for achievement hunters, there's a collectible achievement that involves you scanning a whole bunch of items. Now, you don't need to scan every item in the game, but it is a completely missable achievement. So it's one of these where you're kind of, if you want to minimize your playthroughs, because it's already an 8 to 10 hour run, you're locked into using a walkthrough.
Yeah.
There's a really good one on GameFAQs.
I know, I blew your
didn't-
mind.
Oh, what's that?
I blew your mind when I told you I use GameFAQs.
I know, because GameFAQs is, what we
Outdated.
used back in the Castlevania Symphony of the Night days.
To clarify, there's the achievement is to scan 130 items,
Thank you.
and it says there's about 147 items or so in the game.
Right. So you have some wiggle room, but there are certain items you can't get back to scan, and you don't want to lock yourself out of things. Funnily enough, did we both get this on random to-do list this month?
No, just
Al?
you.
Or just me? Okay. I had this game, I think, on UHH like a year ago.
Sounds right.
And I got to where I needed to get to for UHH, which was basically up to the last 2 achievements, and just stopped. And as it turns out, for RTDL, I have the achievement to finish it this month. So I'm hoping to finally get that out of the way, and once again enjoy a little ratio bump, although it's usually not as dramatic for the 360 games.
Yeah, I think I'll start this a little bit later on down the road. Because as of
start
right
it,
now,
start
there's
it.
only 1,400.
You need to start it.
There's only 1,400 TA. I feel like that might go up, so that'll help me with G-Test.
If this game was released today, or within the last year, that ratio would probably be quite a bit higher. Because the pickings for easy gamerscore games was significantly smaller at that time, and movie tie-ins were always like a good cash-in for that. And if that same game was released today, I think it would be a totally different story on the ratio. It wouldn't be like a 2 or anything like that, but especially as late game collectible achievements, you'd have way more casual people starting it, getting a couple things here and there, and then letting it go. But there's no way to actually test that theory, so that's just me rambling.
Darn you, Xbox, for not giving us something sooner.
This
Screw
is a
you,
solid
Microsoft.
month, though.
It is. I've been hard on months before where it's just
There's a pill for that.
where there's
He
been
got you there.
where there's been 4 games that it's like I've either sucked or I just have no interest in.
Earth Defense Force 2017, Earth Defense Force Xbox One,
Xbox
and
Originals.
Earth Defense One.
Whereas this one, there's 3 games here that I have at least some interest in playing, and the 4th one that I don't have interest in, I've already completed. So, Inside was a big game. Was it 2015 when that came out? 2015, 2016, something like that.
Wow.
Something
And
in there,
that
yeah.
was one of the highest rated games of the year. So, yeah, this is a good month, which is nice. Thank you, Microsoft, for finally giving us a good month.
And now I can finally promise Elle I will play Symphony of the Night.
Doubt.
No, I will. I'll do it.
No,
It helps him now, and he didn't have to pay for it, so...
Yep.
he's
Best of
doing
both worlds.
Metroidvania
How does it
Mania, or
help
whatever
him?
it is we're calling it.
Oh.
Metroidvania. Come on, you know.
And I probably should
Yeah,
play the grandfather of the genre.
You're going to be like,
I feel a little bad that I haven't. Just
But
a little
the
though.
same thing I said to Kenny though. Remember to not that I'm saying excuse everything, but don't immediately get frustrated at stuff because why isn't it this way?
Actually,
Like
I
Yes.
even said that I didn't think the game aged very well. I might have been watching your brother play it for the 26th time.
I think that the stuff like the map design and all that holds up very well.
Yes.
Like that stuff
It's
does, and that's really
the
what you
enemies, I
have
think.
to think about in the context of.
It still has those Castlevania Medusa heads, and they knock you back, and the birds, and that kind of stuff.
Well, don't give them too many spoilers. Let's
That's not a
revisit
spoiler.
this.
I
No,
can-
but, let's revisit this topic.
Oh, Elle's already going to ring
Dracula,
me.
Dracula
Elle's already
dies
going to
at the
ring me
end.
because
Oh, wait a minute.
I know too much about the game already.
I'll just say
Oh, that's
this.
good. I like
I
that you
know
know
almost
stuff.
nothing about the game.
Good.
And
Play it
I
blind.
can excuse a game. I can look at a game through the old person glasses lens, I guess you can say. So I can play it and
Unless that game is Dragon Slayer.
I mean, if you could play like,
that was terrible.
Daggerhood.
That was terrible.
We-
and
we
Drew
play-
Brees was
We play
should be
retro.
ashamed of him for making
We
that.
play
game.
retro-looking games all the time.
Yes, I can play a retro looking game even if I don't exactly enjoy it.
All right. I look forward to your opinion on it.
Don
no,
Bluth.
No,
Who's that?
don't say Domenico Bluth either. Friggin' X. I want to strangle him.
All right. Well, let's get into our contest.
Hope he
corner.
falls through the ice in Iceland.
Jeez.
What?
All right.
Well, let's talk about Contest Corner, because if you play and finish Castlevania Symphony of the Night, you'll get about 90 Radalaikas worth of points for this year's G-Task tourney thingy.
At
So
least.
there's that.
Yes, G-Task
There is that.
Xenia Guay.
officially begun. As of recording, we're 1 day into the contest. Big difference with G-Task this year is it's the differential. So your gamer score, or your TA score, minus your gamer score is how many points you actually earn. So if you earn 3,000 TA, and that also, and you with that you also got 2,000 gamer score, you're going to get 1,000 points for the week.
You're so smart, Kenny.
Yes, we can maths here.
Unbelievable.
Similar to Proclamation Point, send me a friend request on TA so I can keep track of you on the individual, and I can also keep track of your teams. We'll be reading off everyone that
I'm going to
gets knocked
shout you
out
out
each
when
week.
you get knocked out.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Let-
want to, I think we spoke about this a little bit before recording. There are an awesome amount of teams related
There are
to
a
people
lot.
in the Discord who are participating in G-Task this year. So that's great to see how many of you have jumped on board and are going to be a part of it. It would be a lot of time on the podcast to read every team, but teams will definitely get shouted out from week to week, mostly because they're getting eliminated, but possibly for other things too.
And if
So-
you do something amazing, we'll give you props for that. And just roughly, as of right now, there may be a few more add-ons, but I probably have about 40-ish people in the individual, and on the teams, I probably have another 30.
Are you on a
So-
team, Foof?
I am on a team.
Who's on your team? What's your team
Oh,
called?
Can we brag about our teams? Real
Oh
quick?
yeah,
Talk
Okay,
about
so-
them real quick.
So I'm on the team with Saucy Slingo and Decoy, and our team name is Make America G-Task Again.
Nice.
awesome.
Corey?
It is me, Elroy OMJ, and the Tominator,
Love that guy.
also known as Thomas, and our team name is
Tommy!
Brayer Tom and the Possum Folk.
What?
The Possum Folk.
Oh,
Nice.
that's what you do with possums and down there. Nice. I like
Yeah.
that team. I like that team.
Me too.
Al and Michelle, because I assume you two are on the same team?
Unfortunately. Actually, no, we both signed up for random teams and we just happened to be thrown together. So,
Oh, what a quinky dink.
I tried so hard.
us and Toadstyle Venom are American Scorer Society, which is a takeoff of American Horror Society for those who are not too bright.
Well, it's American. It's more complicated than that.
No, that's what it is, totally.
The American Horror Story
Yes.
is the
Well-
and then there's a group called American. Anyway,
Don't even, well, it's a double joke. Inside joke.
acronyms.
Inside
Acronyms.
joke.
It's just appropriate that L is on the team when you shorten it is
Oh.
S.
Exactly.
How'd that happen?
But there are some amazingly named teams. Like I already shouted out last week the names you can't pronounce.
That
which
is just brilliant.
is awesome. But I also want
So
to shout
good.
out Boys to Kingsmen featuring B. Smitty, which is Doughboy,
That's
Kingsman,
good.
and B. Smiddle. And there was another one here, The Good, the Bad, and the Fugly. Decide
That's
which
great.
ones are which.
And Team Enigma Gamer 77.
I
And
can't.
just for the record, The Good, the Bad, and the Fugly is Waka Pale, Kirkland, and Fug. So I don't know which of them is the good and the bad, but we know which one's the Fug. So like it is just so much fun to see people be clever and creative with those things, and the Discord has never failed to disappoint with that sort of stuff. So definitely keep bringing that on, and good luck to everybody.
And stop using your bonuses so early, people. God.
Oh, there's also Magic Hat Mark's Elephant Training Club.
Yes, that's the one I was going to shout out.
Which is Hatton, Eliphalet 77, and Mark B. So good job with the names. Sorry if I missed anyone, but make sure that Kenny
There's
knows
so
that you're
many.
on a team that and you're in the Discord, and we will definitely keep track. Oh, Spank My Fresh to Death. That's a team that came from the from the Team Punny group in Random To-Do List. So that's Spanky and Spronkle, Fresh 336,600 33,669. Anyway,
That
and
one.
Death Dealers. So Unbearable Lightness of Backlog. That's Skeptical Mario, and Chin Doctor, pardon me. So and Ben L72. So just these are great. These are great. I love seeing them all
It is.
come to fruition.
Well, how are we doing so far this week?
How are we doing? I think
Sure.
we're okay.
Are we winning?
No, because this is I mean, it'll be interesting to see what happens. One of the current leaders, if not the current leader on the individual side, is Chizzy with something like 7,000 TA differential. But that's
What?
almost entirely from the new Crackdown title update that dropped earlier in the week. So when one of those achievements is
That's
worth
gonna
a
decay.
2,000 differential, right? There's going to be a lot of decay, and even if that decay doesn't hit this week, because people, the big achievement in that one is for doing all the side quests. So there are some folks who had already finished the game, and that's just going to pop. But that's something that people are going to catch up to over time, and it's only going to get knocked further and further down. So you're kind of setting yourself up to be at an automatic deficit when you do something like that right away.
Real
But
quick,
yeah.
while you're talking about DK, could you actually explain that, just in case anyone doesn't know? If you maybe some people are new to TA.
See you raising
That's
your
an
hand,
excellent-
Foof.
Honestly,
That's an
I'm like
excellent
50-50 in that boat. I kind of get the idea of it, but
Okay, so TA does its best to approximate difficulty based on rarity. So the more rare the achievement is in terms of being unlocked, the more its value. So if you have an achievement, for example, that there are 100 tracked gamers and 10 people have it. Actually, good examples at SNK game. Say there were 100 tracked gamers and like 10 people had beat it legit, so it's sitting at like a 2,000. Well, as soon as that cheat came out, now out of the 100 people, 90 of them have that. Now the ratio decays because the rarity is going down, so the value of it's going down in accordance with that. So that's what you want to avoid is decay. And that's you most frequently see that when a cheat or an exploit is discovered, as in this case, or in the case of a new game.
Title
Because when you're-
updates.
right.
Yes.
Okay.
A new game, a new title update, a new DLC. Because those first few people, if a game already is tracked by 40,000 people and you're one of the first 100 who gets that achievement, you're going to have this huge, impossible score. But in a few days, when everyone catches up to it and the early adopters, or the non-early adopters eventually get around to it, you're just going to watch your score tank.
It's okay until the GTask week passes, right? As long as it happens within the same week before scoring is taken, I think you're okay.
As long as what? The decay?
Yeah, so like if you get on a title update on Monday after the period has started and the decay has settled by Sunday night, you'll be fine. But if it locks in and the cheat is found the next Monday, then you're going to be in for some hurt.
Yeah.
It's how I see it. Maybe I'm wrong.
The scoring is dynamic. So it's not like an achievement is locked in just for that week. So if you popped an achievement worth 100 TA, and by the time Sunday rolls around, it decays to 90, so you've lost 10 points. But the next week it decays to 70, you're going to lose that 20 in the next week.
Right.
So decay continues to eat away at your score.
The first week you would still be in the
throughout.
positive, though, where the second week you would automatically be in the negative.
Yes, that's correct. That's correct. When you pop the achievement, you will always, in that week, retain a positive score. You're right about that. But you may get a negative score just from other games naturally decaying. Kronos was saying earlier that I think he was negative 17 points or 70 points, and he looked at his list and there was no standout achievement. There was nothing where he had lost 12 points on this or 15 points on that. It's just a whole bunch of achievements. If you have 15,000 achievements on your tag and 100 of them lose a point for whatever reason, that's it. So it can be a little volatile, that scoring. So you have to be very mindful when you're going for especially those big achievements that they're pretty well settled before you decide to pop them.
It's going to be interesting this year seeing how this all plays out.
Yeah, that's the built-in worry for Brer Tom and the Possum folk.
I'm honestly a little worried. I want to make it to week 10.
Right, so for those of you who don't know,
But that's
also...
individual, isn't it?
Yeah, go ahead, Al.
Is it?
Yeah.
Is it?
Tell me.
Yeah, if you make it to week 10, you get a community badge. I'm pretty sure that's individual.
I thought it was
okay.
team.
Not everyone who signed up for individual had to be on a team, so I don't think it would be locked to teams. Also, if you're randomly sorted into a team, it might stop you from being able to earn that badge. I'm pretty sure it's
Yeah,
individual
it's
since
individual.
everything else is individual with those
Gotcha.
community challenges.
Oh,
But I
okay.
think there are 200 260 or 250 people who still have all of those community challenges done. So if you're one of those people, or even if you're not, if you want that community challenge badge to continue counting up for you, make sure you hit week 10. At the moment, eliminations are the bottom 10%, I believe.
Yes.
Or the bottom 8.
I think he changed it to 9.
Okay, so the bottom 9%. But when there are 2,000 people in the competition, that's a good chunk of people. So be mindful, follow the line. Cutoff is 9 a.m. Eastern on Mondays.
Yes.
It's early.
So yeah, so you can get that late night Sunday gaming in though. So that's a benefit we didn't have last time around.
Oh, the cutoff this time around is so much better than last time.
Yeah, I
I
agree.
guess you don't have to be at work, not working, looking at your phone, having Minecraft at the ready.
Yep. Minecraft.
That's right. As someone who
will
doesn't
be
start
your
work
best
till
friend.
10 a.m., that's a perfect time.
Yeah,
Oh,
for the
lucky
U.S.
you.
folks.
Yes.
Along with another competition that is starting up here is L's favorite. The 10th annual International Bean Dive starts this week. And it
Oh,
starts
great.
on the greatest of all days, 4th of July. America!
Oh, America, America. Come dive some games with me.
That was really good.
Wow.
So instead of going out and eating hot dogs with your family, stay inside, dive some games. Add all those games that you have on your backlog onto your tag.
This is a competition, sort of. TA does track and have a leaderboard for the people who dive the most games and lose the greatest percentage of their completion percentage total.
Eye on you, Chin Doctor.
Yeah, Chin is apparently gathering quite the backlog. But even if you're diving one game, meaning you're just adding one game to your backlog for the purpose of the Bean Dive, you can certainly participate. You will get a tracking panel in your on your homepage, so you can see how you're doing in terms of Bean Dive recovery. If I had thought about it more, I would have waited before starting all of my my games I needed for random to-do list this month to coincide with the Bean Dive, but I was impatient. But so it is. So even one game will count. There's no community badge attached to this one. There's no prize for diving the most other than the shame you feel from all the games that you haven't really played. So
It is
just
absolutely just for fun.
participate as much as it's fun for you.
And also, for no other reason, you can keep your 2019 Bean Dive going until like 2020, and it annoys L every time you unlock a new game for
Oh,
it.
God. Deleting Chin, I'm deleting everybody.
Next contest we're going to get into is the BCM and Framehold's Completion Challenge. The category this week that we're going to look at for Framehold's Completion Challenge is Enhanced. Stop it, L. Complete a game that is Xbox One X enhanced.
There's
I wanna-
There's an email in your spam for that.
Jeez. I'm going to kick this one off. Game I'm going to recommend can not only be double dipped, not triple dipped, but it can also be quadruple dipped in different contests. I'm talking about Batman Arkham Asylum, specifically the one for the Xbox One. Now, this works great for not only the category for Framehold's Completion Challenge, but it's also a pretty good BCM game, as if you complete it, it'll net you 42 points. Not the greatest of titles, but that's also not too terrible. That's the same as completing 42 Ranalaikas. If you're into the Metroidvania Mania Challenge, it works for that. And it's also a pretty good game for G-Task, as completing it will earn you 1,114 points, so that's not terrible. The game is currently $20, but that's for the Batman collection, which is Arkham Asylum and Arkham City. And this is also a game that continuously goes on sale for around $5. What about you, El?
Well, you're expecting me to say North, aren't you?
No.
North!
It works.
It does.
That game is enhanced. The game I would like to complete that I have not yet is Crackdown 3.
You
But-
haven't completed that?
No.
I'm surprised.
Now we only play it when it shows up on our TDL. Speaking of which,
I have Game Pass. I will join you on the Wrecking Zone.
yes, Wrecking Zone, that counts. That would be a an easier completion, maybe. So yes, I do need a Wrecking Zone achievement. I'll have to set something up for that. Wreck it, Ralph. What about you, Corey?
This is a really trivial category. Just kind of glancing, it looks like there's like 500 enhanced games, which I'm pretty sure when Freem started this, he probably made it in like 2017 when it was just announced. So I don't think anybody saw that, they were all going to be classified as enhanced.
But Lucky's
so,
Tale, that's another good one.
yeah, that's short,
That was
but
like one of the
I'm
first
just going to
ones.
go trivial category, trivial game, Grass Cutters mentioned earlier. 'Cause
Wait.
I already did it. Done.
That's enhanced.
Oh, you should tell
North
us
is
about that game.
enhanced, buddy.
Okay, fair point. I'll give you that.
North.
South.
Yes.
Hmm.
I'm sure Michelle has a better one than that.
Oh, I sure do. But before I do, so you can figure out if a game is Xbox One X enhanced by finding the list of Xbox One and X enhanced games on TA. If you pick any of the games that are mentioned here, one of the items in that upper right panel will be Xbox One X enhanced. Click on that, you'll see the full list. And what's nice about the list is it actually indicates in which way it's enhanced. So if it's 4K, if it's HDR, it's nice to see all that stuff. And if the game's available now, if it's coming out later. So I picked everyone's favorite game that we've now managed to talk about, I think 4 weeks in a row, Where the Bees Make Honey.
It is
Ooh.
remarkable how much we've talked about this game.
Its legacy goes on and on. And apparently it's not just enhanced, it's 4K and HDR.
Nice.
And I think to Corey's point, when Freem put this category in there, it was with the idea that not every game was going to be marked as enhanced. This was something like, for example, Mirror's Edge on the 360 that got an enhancement and really looked different and beautiful. I'm sure Batman is more similar to that. And not
it
all
looks
of these
good.
ID at Xbox games that have just sort of slapped that moniker on there for whatever reason. Because I don't know much about what makes it enhanced other than the graphics look a little better. But there are 500 plus games, as Corey said, that are Xbox One X enhanced. This is almost another free play category.
Yeah. And for the last contest that we're going to talk about, we talked about a lot of contests this show, but the one that we have mentioned repeatedly, the RTDL. Now, if you don't know, this is the contest that is created by the Real Gamer Score podcast, and it is just for fun, unless you're like these three who got in with a team. If you do want to participate, you can get a free list. You don't have to do anything. All you gotta do is message Chindocta on TA or Discord or whatever, and he'll set you up with a list. Michelle, you want to go ahead and talk about the team side of this?
Sure. So I will try to be brief, but please interrupt me at any point, guys, so that I'm not rambling on by myself for too long.
Blaster.
Yes. So as Kenny alluded to, first and foremost, again, we just do have to thank Real Gamerscore and Tarragon, who did all the back-end work and still maintains the RTDL, and Chindocta for all the work he does with monitoring rerolls and making sure lists are generated and updated. We couldn't do any of this without them being on board. So
It's
big
a
thanks
lot of
to them.
coding and a lot of work.
Yeah, so we're very grateful. And we're grateful because we had such great participation and people really seem to enjoy the team concept. So in the last month, we ran a trial and we did 4 teams of 9 people, and all 4 of us were on different teams. And wait,
What?
Kenny, what team were you on? You weren't on the same team with... You were on...
I was on Mario Party.
You were on Mario Party. Elle and I were on a team together. And then Rocker was with Awesome Possums. And apparently Awesome Possums and Team Punny are going to have a long-running rivalry about who actually won month 1.
I have stats. You want to talk about that now?
Let me finish a
Go
thought,
ahead.
and then yes, go through the stats, because that's awesome, because I didn't think to grab them. So for the first month, we ran 4 teams of 9 people apiece. We did a draft with the 4 team captains, and a big thank you to L, Skeptical Mario, XLAX Jester, or Jesta, as I'm
Jesta.
told it's properly pronounced, and Elroy, OMJ.
Love that guy.
There we go.
Meh. For
For being the team captains and taking on the responsibility of drafting your teams. So before I go into what changed for the next set after our pilot month, Elle, please share any of the stats you have.
I'm still mad at Elroy. I was listening back to the podcast. He made a Shakira joke, and
Oh, he sure did.
yeah,
Gift Shakira canned.
not to,
Oh, no.
Go to the Discord to figure out what that means.
I do enjoy during when people try to scroll that one off the screen when they're at work.
That's Corey's favorite.
It is. So before we get into the teams, individually, we had a ridiculous turnout. I had 1, 2,
Yes.
3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 full combos.
Combo.
Oh
That's it. And 20% of them are sitting on this panel right now.
Jeez.
That's crazy.
Boom.
Whoa. That's like...
That was definitely the biggest month for the RTDL.
So that would be NBA Kirkland, Benel72, Homer, Michelle, Matism, Death Dealers, What the Fug, High Road, Rucker Dude, and Kingsman.
Congrats, guys. That is awesome.
Shabobble,
Bobble.
Fresh 336666999, and Wakapel also placed very high. Yours truly, I had 24, but was in
Kiefer.
was in 14th place.
That is insane.
Yeah. Any
Yeah.
24 in months past would have put you in first.
Yeah. it would
And you
be
weren't even
top-
in the
I'd
top
be in the
10.
top 5 for sure.
Well, 2 of the full combos weren't in the top 10.
Yeah.
That's just crazy.
Yeah, it has to do with the randomness and the points that you wind up with. But suffice it to say, everyone did great. I want to give a special shout out to my team, which consisted of myself, Michelle, Owakapel, Ben, L72, Fresh, Toadstyle Venom, Death Dealers, Spanky and Spronkle, and Kronos. I'm very proud of all of you. We did really, really well, even though the Awesome Possums may beg to differ. So we had 44,950 points, and the Awesome Possums had 41,455 points. Gestorado had 30,198 points, and Mario Party had 29,011 points.
Hi.
Awesome Possums, and That's Not Punny, were tied in the number of unlocks until the very last minute when the Tominator unlocked an achievement, giving them the edge in unlocks 197 to 196.
Wow.
Gestorado had 139 and Mario Party had 121. So we definitely had a 2-horse race and it was very enjoyable. But we changed things up a little bit for July to try to make it even more competitive.
Yeah, so I guess I'll take the reins back over here to
Go
discuss
for
that.
it.
But before I do, Corey, would you like to shout out any of your possum brethren?
Well, never mind.
Good job, Awesome Possums. Hiss, hiss. They know who they are.
How about you, Kenny? You were part of the Mario Party.
Good job.
Anything, let's say.
Good job, team participating. I'm sorry, Mario. Please forgive me. Even if I did do better than Koosh.
All right, so as Elle alluded to, we decided to make some changes coming into the next month over the loud objections of Elroy OMJ. But the understanding is it was always kind of a pilot month. Let's try this out. Let's see how it works. The response was great, but balancing is important. There were definitely, as Elle mentioned before, 2 teams that were really competing at the top and then the other 2 teams. So we want to make sure that everyone who chooses to be on a team gets to compete because you can still participate in RTDL even if the team competition isn't your thing. So we added a 5th team. This team is going to be, or is currently helmed by Freemhole. And the team sizes have been shrunk down to 6. Each team captain got to pick 1 keeper from their previous month's team, and then we did another draft. So the 5 teams are all decided. Everyone is already off and scoring. A couple other rule changes that went into effect. We have free agency now. So since it is moved to a quarterly system, during the last week of the month, anyone... The team captains may drop a team member to pick up a free agent. So if you were not drafted, I know Jay Black, for example, wasn't drafted, and Tominator, who even though he saved the Possums and got them one of the leader score wins, wasn't drafted. He's doing great. So these are guys that might get picked up in the next month and get to participate in August. And the other big thing that we've updated is rerolls. So instead of each person getting their individual reroll, it is now a team pool of rerolls. So 6 members per team. Each team has 6 rerolls to use. And in addition, we wanted to make sure that those full combos start to get rewarded. So if a team member pulls off a full combo without a reroll, they're going to earn 2 bonus rerolls for their team.
Great
and
change.
What's that?
Oh, sorry. I just was saying that's a great change.
We were trying, and if you are in the Discord and continue to be in the Discord, there will be chatter throughout the 3 months of things we can change and do. At this point, this is pretty locked in. There's one more rule change we're considering, and that's for those extra earned achievements to be rolled over from month to month, as opposed to losing them if you don't use them at the end of the month. Oh, and just to finish, a full combo that is earned with a reroll will earn 1 reroll for their team. So other than that, though, the rules are set for this month. We will play for the quarter, and then we will do another redraft at the end of that quarter. We do monitor 2 leaderboards, and that's by score in terms of the points, and then by unlocks. So whichever way you want to handle it, go for it. Freem caught a little bit of flack in the Discord because it's like, oh, Freem, you didn't do that well in the first team month. But Freem's Dream Team is currently sitting atop the leaderboard by a pretty healthy margin. So this kind of motivation is great, and definitely love to see it. And hope that this keeps up, especially over the 3 months. And please keep discussing changes, updates, ideas, because anything we do to keep evolving and making it better and more balanced for everybody is awesome. And thank you again, everyone, for participating and making it so much fun.
Yeah, the more feedback we get, the better we can make it. If you got ideas, please share. And also, let us know what you value more. Do you think the unlocks matter more, or do you think points matter more? We're interested.
Hashtag team unlocks.
Well, we know where he stands. One other thing I just want to add, when the captains were going through and drafting, they set up a voice channel on our Discord, and I know there was a couple of people that joined in, even though it was very late. Fortunately, Corey was able to record that, so if you're interested in listening to the draft, I will be tacking that onto the end of the show, so you can listen to that circus. I'm sure that was interesting.
Big shout out to the captains for finding a time that worked in very, very short order. We didn't have a whole lot of time to pull it together. And, with Elle a couple days off of surgery and Jester waking up at 5 a.m. to be there, everyone really stepped up and made sure we were able to get it done. And we're off and running now for this new month.
Yes. You guys have anything you want to add to that?
I have a quick story to tell.
Ooh, do
Go
tell.
for it.
Well, last month, I had a game on my list in Van Helsing, and it was to go through the game on hardcore, which means if you die, you have to start over. However, there are 2 good things. One is that you can save scum, and I'll get into that in a minute. And the second thing is you can play 4 players, and it still counts. So,
Well, that helps.
I know that Kronos had it done, so I said, maybe you can run me through this with your level 30 character, and so we did, and we went through, me and him, and we got all the way to the end, and we died,
Oh,
and he panicked and quit out without saves coming properly, and we lost our characters.
oh no.
So on one hand, that it was really it sucked, but on the other hand, it gave us an opportunity to try again. And this time, I grabbed Michelle, and I had a mole from Mario Party, Skeptical Mario, who I knew also had a lot of knowledge with the game, and he helped as well. So we played 4
Nice.
players, and we died several times. But I showed them how to save scum properly. So what you do is you hit start and you go to manage data, and you delete the save data from console only, but you have to do it before quitting out of the game. I had a really bad joke where I called Kronos my Sherpa, and I called Mario my Sherp B. Yeah. It got groans at the time, so I figured more people needed to groan out of that one.
Oh boy.
And that's definitely RTDL has always been good for this. You know, you get an achievement and people stepping up to help you. But our team had a really nice chemistry last month. Like, everyone was super supportive and helped each other. And the feeling at the end, even though of L's 6 team members, 5 of them were from the team last year, that does mean that 4 are still not on our team and 3 are on other teams and 1 went undrafted. But when I looked at my list, I had achievement in Minecraft and an achievement in Human Fall Flat. And of course, the most delightful man related to the podcast, Waka Pale, has both those achievements I need. So I just mentioned to him, like, look, I need these achievements. And in Human Fall Flat, it's one of those games where if you sit there, everyone that's logged in at the time will get it. And within like 2 hours that day, he's like, are you free now? And, yeah, I'm around. And I said, okay, if L jumps in, yeah, let him jump in. And we went through the level, and he did whatever it was to parkour during a certain part of this one stage, knocked it out, and helped me get that achievement for random to-do list, as well as generating a Minecraft world. And I think there's basically been sort of an open, like, even though we're on different teams now, like, definitely still happy to help anyone, because the more competitive the team game is, the more fun it's going to be over the next 3 months.
Oh, yes.
Actually, before that ever happened, we helped Waka out. Me,
That's right.
Michelle, and Death Dealers, all 3 of us bought Syndicate to help Waka with his Syndicate achievement, which you could do in 4-player multiplayer. It was only $3 at GameStop, but
Did Randy help?
yeah, that's funny. That was the first person I thought of too.
Half the people listening
we need
understand
to ask him. We need to ask him for help. Death Dealers was too lazy to go to GameStop, so she actually paid the $20 to buy it digitally. So we were joking, and that's probably going to be Games with Gold, but as it turns out, it wasn't.
Right, and I think Elle and I both went to multiple GameStops. I found it at the second one that I went to
yeah,
in
so
order
did
to acquire a copy.
I was all,
but
yeah, go ahead.
No, I was just going to say, but it's well worth it, because it was a fun experience to play. We helped out a teammate. I have Syndicate now if anybody wants help from somebody who would be an albatross, but I'm there to be a body if you need me. So it was a good time when all was said and done.
I was going to make another point about how Michelle was saying that she was enjoying Van Helsing.
Yeah, I actually wound up enjoying it quite a bit through our gameplays. Like, I think I was the one that was more adamant about, like, let's play tonight. And I was like, I just got out of surgery. That's okay. You'll be fine.
Yeah. So that was it was funny how it worked out with dying at the very end. So it just, sometimes things happen for a reason. So we all got to play 4 players and had a good time. One more thing we might want to mention. Do you want to talk about Soma a little bit? Briefly.
That
so
was
super
a game
briefly.
club.
Yeah, it was the game club game, and this came up in the Discord as well, that sometimes people don't listen through to the end of the show because they haven't played the game club games yet, and they're story driven, and you don't want to spoil the story. So Elle and I both happened to draw Soma achievements on last month's random to-do list, and as we frequently do if we have a game like that, we'll sit and party together and run through it together, even though it's single player. We did finish it because Elle's achievement was for finishing the game, and it's nice to now go back and listen to the game club, but the story in that was super engaging, and I had decided recently that I really just dislike walking sims, but this game's essentially a walking sim, and I enjoyed it a lot, so now I'm questioning everything. But if not for Random To-Do List and Game Club for getting us to buy it in the first place, we're not even experiencing this game. So this is all part of the benefits of participating in Random To-Do List.
Yep. And I will echo that thought real quick. I mentioned this a few weeks ago, but one of the best things about Random To-Do List is it either gets you to start a game that you haven't, like Soma, or finish a game, I should say, or lets you finish a game that you've started way back when. Like, I wound up playing Prototype. I love that game on the 360. I dived in on the One, and I had a story mission, so I had to play, I don't know, 2 or 3 hours or whatnot in order to get that achievement. And just had a really good time playing a game that I love, and along with that, wound up grabbing another 6 or 7 along the way. And that's just where random to-do list just shines, where it just gets you back into games that you loved,
Absolutely.
or to help you finish off games.
Or if you're like me, to wreck your completion percentage because you're starting a whole bunch of games you added to your game collection.
Yay.
One of those. I think we can move into the final stretch of this episode.
Which is Proclamation Point.
Al, do your thing.
Hold on, I'm looking up a milestone that this awesome person I know got.
So there's one person on the list for completions, unless that's what Al is looking up, and that is Dark Lord Davis, who has reached a new milestone of 75 completed games.
Oh, yeah. Remember I was telling you I completed Daggerhood?
Yeah.
That's my 375th completion. So I did get a milestone that
Ooh.
Foof didn't add to the list because he sucks.
Well, no, you suck.
Damn it. You got me again. Oh, Foof, look at this. 5,500 achievements won. When did this happen? Wow.
Sometime this week.
Sometimes you? Oh, wait, those don't count.
Yeah, if you got those achievements, you would have been at 5510 or so.
It would have been great if sometimes you actually, sometimes popped.
Nice. Good one. Emperor L, a.k.a.
Nice L.
Nice, Al.
Nice L, has reached a new milestone of 6,000
L
achievements.
post Snickers.
Whoa. Reset 42 has 7,000. Achievements won. Rocker Dude has 8,000 achievements won. Beer Me, 9,500. Skeptical Mario, 9,750. Spanky and Sprunkle, 14,000. Kingsman, 14,500. New to the Discord, I believe, Ghost World has 16,750. And Reforce 3 with 17,250. Awakapel, 20,750. Chin Doctor, 22,250. And if you add up like all of those 10 people, you might get Redemption Denied at 63,000 achievements won.
That is freaking ridiculous.
Uh,
There was a lot of achievements won, man. Did everyone just plan to hit a achievements won milestone
I don't
in
know.
the same week?
Worked out that
Yeah.
way.
Like, holy crap.
Now, we had a discussion about this before we recorded, because achievements won as a milestone is a little odd, because TA tracks it every 250. Which doesn't sound like a lot, but when you consider how so many games, especially the ID games, come out with only 10 achievements apiece, it's actually a big deal to hit those 250s. So nicely done to everybody on this list.
Awesome
And
job.
especially to Redemption for embarrassing everybody with his total.
That's just stupid.
By the
Is that like where the kids say bad and it's good? Is that what you mean there?
Yes. It's just a ridiculous amount of achievements. He has one more achievements than the majority of people have gamer score.
This is true. This is true.
That's just insane.
all right.
He's a machine. He does not work. Continue.
I was going to say, Dark Lord Davis, who Michelle mentioned earlier, is Dino Bull in our chat, and I enjoyed hearing him discuss Soma on the Game Club. So shout out to him, and
Yeah. And Ben.
Benel, and Philip Wendell.
Your name
Carpe
will
Adam?
now forever be
no,
Battle.
Or was
no,
it
he
Double
slept.
Oh, that's right.
That was the Soma Club. I believe Mario was on Mario was on Skip Ups.
Mm-hmm.
Going streaking, Ben L, 1,250 days. X Towers, 1850 days. And Saucy Shringo, 1,900 days.
Nicely done.
All right, on to Gamerscore. Doughboy has 115,000 gamer. Doughboy, that's less than Foof. What's going on here?
Oof.
Doughboy?
He just got back from vacation.
I don't wanna hear
He's
it.
gonna put up that gamer score now.
That's where you're supposed to get the most points. Tell everyone to go away and you go play some ACA Win 10 games, right? Rucker, dude. How was your vacation?
It was okay. Decent.
All right. Rucker had a great time. He reached a new milestone of 250,000 gamer score. That's a pretty good one. Quarter of a million.
Nice.
Yeah.
Did you hit it with anything special?
No, I didn't even know I was hitting it. That one and the other
Corey.
milestone you mentioned, and there's another one. I had a triple milestone off of one of those easy games, SNK or Grass Cutters or something.
Psh. All right. Shabobble Bobble, who doesn't listen to the podcast, has 300,000 gamer score.
Nicely
I'm gonna
done.
bug him to listen to this one since he's mentioned. Okay, TA score. Mr. Dark Lord Daniel Bull Davis, Triple D, has 250,000 TA score, as well as Emperor L with 250,000 TA score. Nicely done. Mr. Spanky and Mrs. Sprunkle have 600,000 TA score. Black Buff, 650,000 TA score. And Ghost World, 750,000. Nice job. Ooh. I spy with my little eye a Michelle thingamajig.
A matriarch.
A matriarch. Matarachi. Matarachi. I don't know what's going on. Michelle in top 1,000 in the TA leaderboard. Nicely done.
Nice.
That was
Ooh.
at that point of the leaderboard. It's very mobile, right? Because people are scoring 2,000 or 3,000 points in a day. So I've been hovering just outside of 1,000 for a while, and because I was off work yesterday and played games for a good chunk of the day, I finally made it across the threshold. And there is one thing about it that's exciting to me, because I choose not to focus on the fact that I've wasted that many hours of my life chasing gamerscore. It's that the badge on TA now actually says the number instead of just like a general grouping.
Oh, nice.
Like, it doesn't say 1K. It actually says like 994 or 997 wherever I am. So that's like an interesting motivator to stay there, because I really like seeing the actual number of where I rank instead of a generalization.
All right, well, way to go, Michelle.
Thank you.
Alaflet77 is in the top 200 TA leaderboards for Metroidvania.
Nicely
The
done.
only channel he talks to us is the Vayner channel.
That's
But
okay.
he said though that he wasn't into Metroidvanias before, I think, and that
Yep.
this helped him discover a genre that he clearly is enjoying. So that's awesome. And if that's the way he participates, that's great. And he's like right on your heels, right, Corey, on that leaderboard?
I think he's passed me at this point.
Oh,
Yeah.
oh.
He just
Yeah,
completed.
RTDL is not helping me.
He just completed Corey's favorite game, Shadow Complex Remastered.
Nice.
Yeah, he was. He didn't start that until after they announced it leaving Game Pass. So he's thrown
Wow.
45 hours at it in the past couple weeks. Nuts.
Jeez, he got it done. He's now playing Teslagrad,
Yep.
and we are Tesla glad he's playing that. Oh God,
The
we'll bring it back to
controversial,
So-
Metroidvania.
In terms of TA for Metroidvania, Rocker is currently sitting at 154.
Wow. And you started at over 5,000? When you
It's
began?
like 8,500.
Wow.
Yeah, it's like
Good job.
8,500. Yeah.
Wakapel is
Thank
at
you.
45, and Kush Moose is at 64.
Nice.
Do you want to know? Do you want to know what redemption?
1.
Close.
He's up
He's
there.
at 2. Come on, Redemption. Pick it
All
up.
right, who's number one?
Go Humio RSC. I don't know
Gun. Yeah.
All right,
No
we're
one
gonna
I
have
know.
to find this
what
person.
I said.
All right, way to go. Hatton90 is now in the top 5,000 of the England True Achievement Leaderboard for racing. Wow. Okay. Thank you for adding that, Foof. That was a mouthful. All right. Life events. You're just making stuff up here now. All right,
You're
we have
making
some.
that up.
We have some birthdays. I believe they were mentioned on last week's show, but we'll mention them again. Cowboy Killer 360 celebrated a birthday on June 26th. I believe he's now 361. Happy birthday to him. X the Hero had a birthday June 29th, and Michelle June 30th. That was mentioned as well.
Mm-hmm.
Hope you all had great birthdays.
Yes, and thank you all for the birthday wishes on TA or Discord or Facebook or wherever. It was very, very nice to see.
Do you know whose birthday it's going to be when this podcast drops on Thursday?
No, but you can tell us.
Come on, you can figure it out.
I
You
know.
didn't write it down, so I don't know.
America.
America.
There you go. America. America's birthday.
Donald Trump.
You kind of stole my thunder. You stole my thunder earlier with the America talk. I was going to save it for this point. Happy birthday, America. And
Are we going to shout out Canada too? It was Canada Day yesterday.
nope,
Fufu
Oh,
told me
cool.
that was a made-up holiday.
like Boxing Day.
Well,
Exactly.
Corey, we were in chat last night with Jay Block.
Love you, Jables.
And him being Canadian, he filled us in on how to celebrate Canada Day. So apparently this is your
Hockey.
once a year
syrup.
baptism in which you smother yourself in maple syrup.
Nice. I was right.
And Elle's Canadian.
You ever see Super Troopers?
So Canada Day has been linked to diabetes.
And the doctors apologize over and over that you have diabetes. All right. I'm going to put the community spotlight on our beloved friend Kitty Skies, who has amassed 5 milestones in the last 2 days on TA. So
Wow.
I figured I'd shout her out. 15,500 achievements won, 480,000 gamer score, 790,000 TA score, so not a bad ratio. And out of 650 games played, 390 completions. So that's pretty awesome.
Nice.
Very nice.
Way to go, Kitty Skies. And if you did not have your name read somehow of all these people, let Kenny know.
Yes, Emmy on TA, because we definitely don't have enough milestones. All right, well, that will about do it for us for this week. If you guys enjoyed the show, please like and review us on your platform of choice. It's a great and free way that extremely helps us out. And like always, be sure to smash that subscribe button so you can get all the latest shows and they'll automatically download to your feed. If you want to send us a Twitter tweet, you can do so by sending us one on the Twitter at Achievements101. Be sure to follow me, on Mixer at AH101. You can also subscribe to us. You can also subscribe to our YouTube channel and make sure you hit that notification bell so you see all of the content updates there, which should be a ton in July. I plan on trying to get all the backlog uploaded. And lastly, and most importantly, join the Discord. The Discord link is discord.io/AH101. Should have had Michelle read that. All of our links to all of our stuffs.
You actually want people to join the Discord, so
All of the links, all of our stuffs, and links to the contest will be in the show notes. So be sure to read those. Elle does a wonderful job writing out the show notes. And the secret word for this week's giveaway will be in there.
Sail Gray.
Maybe.
No, it won't.
Maybe. All right, guys. Class dismissed. Talk to you next week.
I love Corey sounding like an irritated toddler in the background. No, it won't. Like his voice silently drifted.
Can't make
It'll
me do
never
it.
be the word.
Coming again to save the motherfucking day, yeah, America! Yeah!
GTASC, an abbreviation sending chills down the spine of some who dedicated a significant chunk of time struggling to remain in this year-long endurance contest. It is also a lot of fun. If you haven't signed up yet, it is unfortunately too late. I'm Wakapale, and I'll be trying to keep up in the GTASC TT for as long as I'm able, which I'm currently estimating around 6 months. This year's iteration will be a bit different from previous years, as it is based on TA difference and not on TA score. Last year, 10% of the lowest scoring participants were removed each week, and it will likely be the same this year. Quick and easy games will have their place, but will be significantly less useful as their ratios tend to be very low. The first months will likely not be very difficult to get through, as long as you play something with a decent TA difference every week, but the later stages will require planning and likely some preloading. The finals certainly requires plenty of preloads unless you still haven't started the Minecraft stacks and have them available to you. Minecraft alone won't help you secure a top spot though. If you want to remain in the contest, you will also have to be wary of recent releases, DLCs and title updates, as they tend to get very inflated before the score settles. It is very possible you'll end up with a negative score in the thousands if you're not careful of newly released content. While you can certainly play whatever you wish, you'll get the most bang for your game time playing games with gold, Game Pass, DLCs and title updates, as these tend to have plenty of starters that doesn't get very far into the game, thus increasing the ratios. No matter if you're in it to win it or just going for the 10-week badge, some games will help you score more and faster than others. One of these games is the July 2015 Games with Gold Runbow. Runbow is a fairly simple speedrunning platformer with colored platforms and obstacles appearing and disappearing depending on the color of the constantly shifting background. The game is fairly simple, but the color shifting mechanic can take a bit to get used to, and 3-starring some levels can be very challenging. While there are difficulty spikes, most levels are less than a minute and the load times are very short. There are certainly better platformers than Runbow, but it is not bad and fairly enjoyable. It can also be played with up to 8 players locally, but I don't know how the achievements work in multiplayer. Unless you're a completionist, this shouldn't deter you, as you can easily 1-star enough levels to get to the bosses and take them down for a massive score boost considering their difficulty. Just beating all the levels shouldn't take you many hours, and doing so will get you a TA difference above 800. Should you decide to 3-star the levels, you can add almost 1400 TA difference to those 800 in less than 10 hours. There are also a few multiplayer achievements you can pick up in an hour for another 100 TA difference. To top it off, you have the final challenge in the Behemoth. This is a real challenge and I haven't personally beaten it yet. Beating it will award you close to 100 TA difference, along with 240 if you also 3-star the rest of the game. If you manage to complete the Behemoth in less than 20 minutes or 10 deaths, you will unlock the monster achievement Indigestible, worth over 900 TA difference alone. All in all, Runbow is worth 1000 gamer score and 5050 TA, meaning a TA difference of 4050. The TA estimate is 10 to 12 hours, which seems reasonable, and not bad at all for this kind of TA difference. Best of luck to those participating in GTAS 2019. Have fun and remember that this is a marathon, not a sprint. Don't burn yourself out and remember to have fun. Have a nice day, everyone.
Hey everybody, as mentioned in the panel, we do have the RTDL July draft coming up. Just to forewarn you, it is a raw look into the draft, so very much Discord or Xbox party with 20 or so people. You could expect the quality, but it has been shortened for brevity's sake, and we hope you enjoy if you're into this. So it was fun, and I'll leave you to that.
I guess we could start that way. Elroy, how you doing? You want to say anything?
Yeah. Oh, so
You want to say anything about your team and talk them up a little bit before?
Well, I know that there's a
Your
certain
keeper choice?
team. A certain team has been coming for us lately, and just let you know that you can't play possum on the possums. We saw you coming. We saw y'all coming. We planned ahead for this. So yeah, just don't think your fate's going to change in the next 3 days, and that the awesome possums will end up on top once again. Well, once again in the sense that the only time, and since this is the first month. But I guess at this point we should do the great unveil of the new team name.
Oh,
We're changing it up. The awesome possums. You know, it's very possible that we won't get all of our members back, and we're really sad about that. And we always say, once a possum, always a possum. So we don't want anybody, feeling too sad. So I guess maybe we should wait to see how the teams shake out. But we have a team name in, so you can go ahead and just put name pending on the Awesome Possums, and it's coming. It's forthcoming. But in any case, I'm very proud of all the possums. We got several. Is Jester back yet? And we got several full combos, and we been working well. We had a nice team chat. Mr. Fogg put that together for us. It's been very nice. And with that all being said, I can't have anybody besides my fellow Tennessee brother. And so, Mr. Rocker, you're my keeper. Come on now.
All right.
Boo.
Good morning, Mr. Rocker, are you here?
Brother Rocker in the house.
Yes, I'm here.
Hey guys,
Whoa.
sounds like
Who's
the voice of
speaking from
God.
the mountain?
He was in the moon. He was at the moon. That's just where we left him.
Frick.
All right. Well, awesome. So let me just type this in the chat for. So Rocker is off the board. He's the keeper for team name pending.
Formerly known as Awesome
Possums.
Why would you change
All right.
that name?
Well, we'll see how things turn out.
You have literally both possums.
Just imagine the possibilities.
Mm.
There's
There
probably
might,
fun
there
there.
might be something else. There might be something else that already been.
Oh,
Yes.
All right, Elle, you're next. So who are you selecting as your keeper?
I'm picking LAX just. That?
No.
No.
Out. I heard you say Jester, and then I guess my surface had an aneurysm. So who do you pick as your keeper?
Well, don't keep us
Or are
in
you
suspense.
changing your team name?
Shark. Terrible. Uh-oh. Someone speculates like Mario speculates. Okay, fine. You got the first full combo. Go shall. For when I fall asleep, she can pick the rest of the team.
You're cutting out pretty badly for me, but I think I got the gist of that.
Really?
Yeah.
It's everybody. It's not just you.
Okay.
I pick Fog.
You're gonna have to wait until next
Somebody
round.
practicing drums or what is it? They just
Oh,
dropped
what's
it.
going on?
I feel like
I hear all sorts
Uh-oh.
of ambient noise.
I'm getting a tour of the factory here, man. What's going on?
It's just a here.
Say something.
So smoothly the last time.
Sister's been here like 5 minutes.
He just hasn't said anything.
What's the clock on the draft? Is it like a 5-minute clock? At some point, Mario can skip him, right?
Yeah, someone needs to set the
draft
timer.
clock to 5 minutes.
Someone.
Yeah.
Jester,
Hey,
can
you guys hear me? Oh, we heard
There's
that.
Jester.
God is
Yes.
here. Who's
Yes,
your
sir.
keeper?
It's great to hear you, Jester. They were talking about skipping you, but I said no, we shouldn't do that.
All right.
You're up if you want to announce your keeper.
Is that me? Yeah, I'm up.
Yep.
All right, cool. It's only one choice, I think, which has to be NBA Kirkland. Reflection on his month's performance and the number one draft pick last month, so I have to pick him as my keeper.
This is awesome.
I don't know what he
So,
said. I think he picked.
I heard him quite well.
I think he picked Hatton 90.
Yeah.
That's what I heard. Someone with the number.
Accent's not that strong.
All right, Mario.
Good pick.
I'm up.
Who do you have?
My keeper pick's going to be someone who has been very enthusiastic and scored a lot for my team, Jimbot UK.
Woo!
Nice. Jimbot, that was his first month competing, really, with RTD. I think he might have had, that was his first list, right? And he did awesome.
Mhm.
And he said in the chat earlier that he's going to be curating or paring down his list a little bit or whatever. So that's an excellent pick.
I want to encourage him to continue in the RTDL.
He's doing awesome. Freem,
2
how
picks,
you doing
huh?
there, Team Freem?
I'm doing okay. Excited for my inaugural run here. I feel bad for all the players who have to be on my team, but together, we're a bunch of scrappy bunch. We'll get there. Understand? Cause,
Did you say crappy? The crappy bunch? That's a good name for your team.
We got Rocker off the board, NBA, and Jimbot all off the board, right?
Yeah.
We have a draft board.
So you still have 3 FCs to choose from, but it's not just about FCs. It's about potential full combo pools if people have higher achievements to draw from, if the pool size. You got a lot to consider, Freem.
There we go. Yeah. I was really happy with this late push here. Thought it was amazing. I cannot pass up. I'm going to go with Mr. Homer as my second in command.
Fast. Good.
All right, awesome. All right, and that'll end the keeper round. So let's go on to the first full round of drafting. So who are you going to pick in? Who are you going to make the number 1 draft pick of the quarterly random to-do list team competition?
I think it's got to be the guy who came flying out of the gate and just ripped his RTDL list a new one. High Road V2.
Nice.
Fellow compatriot in the GTA SCTT thinger-jobber. So we will succeed. High Road, you're on the board.
Freem just got up to that. That was first.
All right. Good choices both, and you've already got guys that are 50 out of 50 for achievements this month. Good way to start. So we're working our way back down the order. So Mario, who are you taking with your first round pick?
I'm going to continue keeping the Mario Party together and pick another person who scored a lot for my team, Shababble.
Wow.
Nice. I think Shababble's going to be very happy with that. Okay. We'll keep moving along. Jester, thank you for joining us so early.
Michelle, check your PM.
That's right. Sorry I was late.
That's all right.
I am again going to keep somebody that is in my team.
Oh.
And I'm going to go for somebody who's giving a late push towards the full combo. So I'm going to take Reset 42.
Nice.
All right. Reset 42. All right. It's a lot to...
Did we do a redraft?
This is why Freem has to be here. He's the one breaking up teams.
Yep, I'm
breaking
just
hearts,
pulling people away.
All right.
Okay.
I will take second lady, Death Dealers.
All right. Death Dealers is another one though. New to RTDL and got the legit full combo with no rerolls. So she's done awesome, and she's been very helpful to other members of the team too. So it's been good to have her on the team.
And we've been having fun playing Crisis together.
There you go, and hopefully you'll get Crisis on your RTDL, and she'll lose her disc.
Whoa. Crisis.
Oh man. All right, we are
Possum.
back down to Elroy.
Well,
Love that guy.
Given my second round pick was just poached, I am going to have to let's see. Last time I took looks like I took Fug third last time and Kingsman fourth, so I want to switch things up. I'm going to take Kingsman third and Fug fourth.
Shots fired, Fug.
Elroy,
Yeah, we're going to change things up.
and so this is the end of round 1. And then we're going to move on to round 2. I think you might have spoiled your round 2 pick. But why don't you go ahead and
I
repeat
think he
it
said them
again
both already.
for me, because I'm typing and all this other stuff.
Oh yeah. So yeah, the third round opens up with the exciting old man Fug. He's still got something in the tank.
All right, Fug.
Sorry, Kingsman. Here.
All right, Elle, you're back on the clock.
Can I pick Kingsman?
No, but you can say
pick
that.
Kingsman 25, 26.
I mean, 99 times out of 100, like, ew.
Oh boy.
Never die.
Change the sensitivity on your mic there, El.
Something going on? Can't hear me?
It doesn't pick you up till you're loud enough, which shouldn't be that
Oh.
hard for you.
It's usually not a problem.
That's what she said. All right. I'll fresh.
Ed, you're cutting out like crazy.
Yeah, I thought I heard you say something.
Did you say Freshy Fresh?
Hello?
Hey,
I'll try speakerphone. It's better.
better.
Think so.
Not
Quality
cutting
is
out,
good,
but the
you're not cutting out. Yeah.
Yeah, that sounds like one of those crappy messages on the old answer machine.
All right. Even though Philly sucks, I'm gonna go with my fresh cat.
El, all you have to do is if you go into your settings, go down to your voice and video and change the input sensitivity.
All right.
Make it lower so that
You're gonna teach-
your threashold.
You're gonna teach me how to.
Can't hear you. So let's move on. Jester.
He said
What was
fresh.
the pick?
Pick
Who
fresh.
do you take, Fresh?
Fresh.
Oh.
336,669.
That guy. Love that.
Fresh had an awesome month. I think this is Fresh's best effort, and he definitely has shown up this month. So another good member of the team. So happy to be back on board.
He's number 5 all time, you might add.
Yeah. A lot of people who are sneaky good at this that are flying under the radar, which is part of the fun. Have for your round 2 selection.
I'm going to go with somebody who didn't score as high as usual and not from my team last month. So I'm going to take Peru, please.
Ooh. All right, we got some shakeup going on here.
Dr. Pruichek.
Nice. All right. Next up is Mario. It's your turn again. Are you keeping your team together? Are you breaking them apart? Because Freem's next, and he's going to do all the damage anyway. So.
Yeah.
Right.
I'm not too interested in breaking up teams. That kind of division is not what Mario Party is all about. So I'm going to.
Have you played Mario Party? It's all about ruining friendships.
I have not. I don't own a Nintendo console.
Lister.
I know.
That's a fair assessment.
I'm going to take the person who has control over the RTDL spreadsheet and pick Shintaka again.
Nice pick.
Excellent choice. Excellent choice. All right. And Chindaka, as always, thank you for everything you do with RTDL and managing lists and getting rerolls done and all that. We wouldn't be doing this without the support of Chin and Tarragon at Real Gamer Score, so we definitely appreciate all that going on. Freem, you've got your back-to-back picks, so let's wrap up round 2.
Can't believe he fell to me here in, I guess, what is technically pick 15, including those keepers. But the beauty of this is, even though he's a Browns fan, he fits in beautifully with our team, being a bunch of lovable losers. He lives in a place that is so hot in the summer, there's no reason to go outside. You have to stay in and play video games. I am taking Mattism.
Nice.
It's a good pick. All right. That wraps up round 2, gents. So let's move right on into round 3. Freem, who are you leading off round 3 with?
Oh, this is a tough pick. I got 3 people I want, but I can't pass up the opportunity to take what is one of my favorite parts of your guys' podcast, and that is Mr. Wakapale.
Oh, Wakapale's such
Fantastic.
a good pick. He's such a not just a good pick in terms of the fact that he actually does get stuff done every month, but he's just the most delightful man. And if you
Delightful,
haven't
absolutely.
heard talk about it, I recommend that you do.
Wakapale's great, and I am excited to have him on my team.
All right, Wakapale in round 3. So round 3 is off and running. Still lots of boards. So we're back around to you, Mario. Is the Mario
Okay.
Party still not stopping?
Yes, kind of. I know I just said I wasn't going to break up other teams, but I am going to pick Ben L72 because he is on my Gcast team.
Nice.
The Unbearable Lightness of Backlog Definitive Edition. I'm taking the contest by storm for the first 10 weeks.
Alrighty. So next up we have Jester.
I'm going to go with somebody already on my team, so I will keep Shadowless Edge.
Nice.
And there's still a lot of good names on this board. Jeez Louise.
Give me a
There's
minute.
a lot of talent out there.
Yeah, it's tough. It's getting tough.
Okay, El said he needs a minute, so
Is there a trade in the works?
we'll give him.
Is he calling other teams?
Maybe.
El, you hook me up, man. I'll give you July picks or August picks for your July pick.
It's not a thing.
Yeah.
I'll let him trade up for next session. Cap space too.
Come on, El.
Done.
Cap space.
Yeah, I'll give him a bonus reroll for giving me his draft pick.
He gets one of the rerolls, man.
Oh,
Can we trade those? I mean, those are
yeah,
that's
that's
legit,
fine.
right?
Yeah, can we be trading those?
This is stuff we didn't think about when we were.
How many rerolls to get my boy Homer back? All right. I'm sitting over there with two of my players.
Right.
Mm-mm-mm.
I'm gonna go. Elroy's favorite pattern.
What now?
What?
He said he's passing. The
Enigma gamer. Okay. So Enigma, the last time we did a draft and how he went, he's always been consistently a good performer in RTDL and went, oh, this is the, everyone's showing up now and paying attention. We are back around to Elroy. Your team has been poached quite mightily like the mighty possum in Tennessee. So this round to keep everything together.
taking lots of hits here. I'm consulting. Hold on.
Okay. Everyone was so they picked quick last time because by this time it was a lot of we don't know who's going to do what. But now that so many people have shown up and done so well in the RTDL this year, it's definitely harder to pick. The possums, if you take apart everything, have 9 members and the equivalent of 7 full combos plus a little more. That's insane. So everyone's done very well. It's hard to pick. Or I'm done delaying for you. Who do you got?
Okay. Give me Wildwood Mike. Boing.
All right.
Deal
There
of the
you go.
draft.
All right, and then now you've got to make around 4 picks, sir.
Oh, well, the clock restarts. So that's good.
That's true.
It's true.
This is Freem.
There's still quite a bit of talent left.
Elroy, you looking at college tape? What do you? What's your
Yeah,
thought process
yeah.
here?
Well, we got one
How deep
really
you going
good
back?
possum there. We got one good possum left on the board. Well, 2 good possums left on the board, but one's getting married, and the other one, he kind of overperformed this month, and I haven't talked to him if he's going to do it again.
And there's some people that are still on the board that might have had vacations and things like that that maybe didn't have as much time this month. So even though people did awesome, there's still people that have more of an upside.
Yeah.
He just doesn't want to hurt anyone's feelings. I get it, Elroy. I get it, man.
Yes, I don't want to hurt any feelings other than the 4 captains that stole all my freaking players. So let's see.
Technically, it was only 2 of us.
All right. Well, this guy's getting married, but I know he'll still have some possum time left in him. So give me old Pluto.
All right.
Maybe he'll work in his noodles that he'll still do some
Say
RTDL.
noodles?
Yeah, noodles.
Jewels. Oh, listen, we're not here to judge. You just selected Professor Pluto in round 4. I know it's late for you. It's late for us, so we're going to keep moving along. El, you're back on the clock.
I don't want any of these jabronis. All right. I'm going to go keep our task strong. Pick Mr. Toadstyle Venom.
Alrighty.
TSV.
But I can't tag him as Toadstyle Venom in the server.
And
I hope he gets his list
All
up.
right.
Is he gonna add some games there? Dirty cheater.
Jester, to pick again. What are you thinking?
we should also have one more round to pick.
We settled on teams of 6. It's going to keep things competitive.
I like teams of 6. If there's more interest, we could add another player to each team for the next month.
Right, we can always do an expansion round next month if there are a whole bunch of really good free agents that want in.
Feel bad for certain people.
Well, don't feel bad. You know, it's not. It's obviously not. Agents have their own pool to compete in, though, and there will be a prize for free agents to keep them interested. And there definitely are people who will need time off in August for whatever reasons, and people will need to be able to step into those roles. So.
Yep.
Hey, I lost my connection. Did you guys hear my pick?
There's a pill for that.
Not even close.
Oh,
but
connection.
Tell us again.
I'm going to take Hatton 90 again because I know that certain things get in the way of his list this month. So I'm going to take him because I know he's going to put on quite a few
Be
more.
your dark horse pick.
Yeah.
Awesome. All right. Is awesome. Mario.
All right. Well, and this draft has certainly been very exciting. The other captains have done. They give me a lot to shoot for in terms of building the suspense around their picks. It's really, really unbelievable. So, that in mind, for my last pick in the last round of the TA RTDL pick, my draft pick is
Sopranos.
Koosh Moose.
Yay, Koosh Moose. The Koosh Moose. It's one of those that's been on vacation over the last couple weeks and maybe underperformed a little this month, and we'll have more upside next month.
He's got it in him.
He was on my radar. I'm a little scared of his pool size. That's a little daunting. You know, that was a knock on his list for me.
Good Lord. I didn't see that.
You know, just throwing that out there. So that leaves me with I'm not going to say Mr. Irrelevant because
well, go ahead. Yeah, but you go ahead and finish up, Freem.
there is a ton of good picks here. I'm left with 2 people here that I'm really eyeballing. These 2 gentlemen are fantastic. Oh boy, I think I'm going to give the edge to.
All right, Kronos is a great pick. He really is.
If we can't compete this year, at least our entire group, we can have a great podcast. These are some fantastic people in this group here.
All right, awesome. So all the teams have been selected. Now keep in mind, everyone that's participating in RTDL, whether you're drafted to a team or not, that you still have another couple of days. If you are interested in curating, to curate your lists to make sure that you draw things that you want to see. Chin is generally pretty good about big errors, like I accidentally included all the Game Pass games, but you know, keep it reasonable. Let's see if I could just go through this again here, just to read off the teams. We've got Elroy OMJ with Rocker Dude 5012, Kingsman 2625, Fug, Wildwood Mike, and Pluto. L has drafted.
We had an update. I'm so sorry, but we have decided that we are going to stick with Awesome Possums.
All right, the Awesome Possums live on, although they've been scattered across the teams. Mostly thank you to Frame. That's not punny. L has drafted myself, Death Dealers, Fresh, Enigma Gamer 77, and Toadstyle Venom, otherwise known as Stan. So we've got 4 or 5 of 6 people from this team, and it's been a good team this month, so I'm happy for the continuity. Jesterado, RTDL'd. Are you keeping that name, Jester?
Yeah, why not? Unless it comes up with something, but yeah, we'll keep the same name.
Right. We can always change that. It consists of Jester, NBA Kirkland, Reset 42, Prue, Shadowless Edge, and Hatton 90. Team Mario Party, which is mostly Team Mario Party still, except for Ben, whom he stole from us. But very great pick. Good job on that one. Is Skeptical Mario, Jimbot UK, Shabobble, Chindocta, Ben L72, and Koosh Moose. And finally, Freem Hole, the Team Destroyer. His team is now Freem Hole, Homer, High Road V2, Mattism, Wakapale, and Kronos. Up anything else anybody wants to contribute, say, trash talk?
We're coming.
I'm going to bed.
Right. Yes, it is almost 1:00.
Hope you
That's
can
it,
keep
Jay
up with
Black.
your team, Freem. You got some good picks.
Freem has some great picks. All the teams are good, and I like Jay Black's enthusiasm. It's exactly it, though. Show what you can do over the next month. I know for a fact that there are people already looking toward August, knowing that they're not going to be able to compete at the same level. So free agents will definitely play a part in the coming months. If you're interested in being a free agent, also, I guess, let us know so we can somehow color code that on the sheet so that team captains can keep that in mind as they're going forward from month to month. For us here. So good luck, everyone, for the quarterly edition of the Random To-Do List.
Cool.
You're awesome. Thanks, guys.
Have a good night.